Shalom, family. Shalom, Sister Janita. Shalom, Brother Moses. Shalom, Brother Tab Bidden. Shalom, Mox. Brother Lamar. Shalom. To you, brothers and sisters, just waiting to for some more brothers and sisters come in. Shalom, Brother Jonathan in the house. Shalom, Mox. Hope brothers and sisters had a great Sabbath class, Sabbath day yesterday, as far as it could be. Standing in the spirit. Shalom, Brother Abraham. Shalom, Brother Dunn, Israel. Shalom, Brother Nehemiah. How you doing? Shalom, Princess Nakia. Shalom, sis. How you doing? You and the fam. Shalom to you, brothers and sisters that's out there. House of Brother Asher in the building. Shalom to my aunt. Say to Hezekiah and Josiah. Shalom, Infinite Chins. Shalom, Paul M. Brother Paul M. So I hope brothers and sisters been paying attention to what's going on in the earth. Like we always say, that's what the Bible is all about. I know yesterday we had a great Sabbath class going over predestination. Like we were just reinforcing with brothers and sisters in the congregation. That's one thing that all praise, sis. One thing that Christians cannot deal with the Israelites on is prophecies. They cannot deal with the Israelites concerning prophecies, because if it's prophesied in the Old Testament or whether in the New Testament, it must come to pass on some front. Shalom, Officer Barakiah. I know I tried it today. I still didn't change the phones. You know, we just gonna kind of try some new stuff. So I did live just on one feed on StreamYard. So we're gonna see how that worked today. We'll see how that worked. All praise, Brother Abraham. Had a great camp yesterday, man. I know Officer Barakai put that thing out, man. We had to restrain a drunk brother out there, man, trying to fight the prophets, man. Our people are destroyed, man, for a lack of knowledge, man. They actually tried to fight us. Like we told brothers, man, you know, we practice on these things like in Camp 101 when situations get heightened. We just pin our people down. You know, we ain't going to jump them and beat them up and stomp them and kick them. We're not going to do none of this stuff because we know our people are sick out here, man. You know, and the brother was real sick, drunk as hell. And you literally, you know, it's have to be something wrong with your spirits on you and demons on you when you trying to fight about 20 brothers out there. Come on, brother. Then I'm getting the brothers off of them from restraining. That brother, look, I could just see the shock in his eyes. You know, it's our people sick, brothers and sisters, man. We got to pray for them, man. Shalom, Sister Genesis. How you doing, sis? But let's get that right quick in the book of Hosea, chapter 4, verse 6. So I know Officer Barakai be putting that video out, man. Our people need to see that, man. We had a legion of demons again out there, man. Sister out there drunk, talking about we reading the wrong Bible, but she reading the NIV. We tell her to go to Matthews 18 and 11. That Bible verse is not in there. So when I told her to read it, y'all should have just seen the look on her face. You know, it's our people, man. We love them to death, man, but we ain't going to play the games with them. We got to tell them, thus saith the Lord, man, whether they were here or forbear. This is the book of Hosea, chapter 4 and verse 6, and it reads, my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. And that literally is the case of our people, man. Our people are really destroyed. You know, that's why we understand that we have to have a level of restraint, because our people are spiritually and mentally sick out there. You know, they look at us like we the enemies. Well, guess what? We out there trying to literally heal our people and give them God's medicine. It says, my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Because thou hast rejected knowledge, meaning because our people reject keeping the laws, statutes, and commandments according to the Bible. It says, I also will reject thee, that thou shalt be no priest to me, seeing that thou hast forgotten the law of thy God. I will also forget thy children. So we know, yeah, Con, I got y'all. You know, I really be wanting you to, you'll get to that level. I really be wanting you to kind of, but if it do get heightened, we get some scoffers on her. But I really be wanting you to take notes on those things so you can better equip yourself too in the future. But since we reject knowledge, the Most High God said He's gonna reject us. You know what I'm saying? And we see the condition and the estate of our people, man. You know, and that's why we're constantly out there. Let's go to the book of First Maccabees, man. One of my favorite precepts. I know we be all over while we waiting for brothers and sisters to ask any questions that they may or may not have. And this is what the Most High God sent us out there for. Shalom, brother Cedric Ferguson. How you doing? Shalom. This is the book of First Maccabees, chapter 3 and verse 43, and it reads, they said one to another, let us restore the decayed estate of our people, and let us fight for our people and the sanctuary. And that's what our job is as a nation of people. Our job is to fight for the decayed estate, to rebuild and guess what, reestablish the destruction of our people, man, because Esau have done a number on us. Not just Esau, but all the other nations combined. But Esau is at the head of that thing in destroying us as a nation of people. That's literally why the chains came off of us, because we were destroyed as a nation of people. That's literally why we were freed from slavery. Because guess what? We were no longer trying to rebel, go back home. Guess what? They had fully assimilated us into their society. Like I always say, man, we nothing but Negro pens. Literally, people with black skin, but with white spirits on the inside. That's what we are according to the Bible, man. I'm going to read verse 43 again. This is the book of First Maccabees, chapter 3, verse 43. And it reads, they said one to another, let us restore the decayed estate of our people. Because our people are in a decayed estate, meaning a low estate. Very low as a nation of people. It says, and let us fight for our people and the sanctuary. That's why we constantly go after to the highways and byways. And you brothers that know this truth, that have a good understanding of the scriptures, and you not in this fight, man, you gotta get your spirit built up, man, to be in the fight, man, with us. That's what this is all about, man. Sister Genesis asks in John 18:14, did all the high priests know that one man should die for the nation, or just Caiaphas? And that's a good question. Caiaphas was in the spirit, even though he was a part of that system. He understood. So yeah, it was really just Caiaphas, sis. Because the scribes and the Pharisees, they didn't understand the prophecies. Now, let me use that term lightly. Not all of them, because it was many that did believe on Christ, sis. You know, verse 20. Yeah, we'll go back to it. Let me get this right quick. Come on, you talking about in First Maccabees. Let's go to the book of John, chapter 18, verse 14. No, Sister Genesis beat you to the punch real quick, but we'll go back out. This is the book of John, Salakia, the book of John, chapter 18 and verse, what do we want? Verse 14. And it read, now Caiaphas was he which gave counsel to the Jews that it was expedient that one man should die for the people. So he understood the prophecies. Caiaphas, he totally understood, but it was other scribes and Pharisees that believed on Christ as well. Hold on. You know, so I wouldn't we will most definitely know. Let me find that precept. Shall be scattered, speak plain. Yes, this is what I want. Let's flip over. Let's go a few chapters before. This is the book of John. That's why it's pivotal that brothers and sisters write key notes in your Bible. So when you going back, Shalom, brother Dodd, Israel, how you doing? Shalom. That one I found it. Thanks. The book of John, chapter 12 and verse 42. We're going to get straight to the point. Nevertheless, among the chief rulers, a scribe and a Pharisee will be among the chief rulers. A priest will be amongst the chief rulers. Nevertheless, among the chief rulers, Also, many believed on him. But because of the Pharisees, they did not confess him, lest they should be put out of the synagogues. So many people of the scribes, or I would say many of the scribes and the Pharisees, they believed on Christ. It says, but because of the Pharisees, they did not confess him, lest they should be put out of the synagogues. So we see that, guess what? It was high priests that believed on Christ. It was high priests that understood the prophecies. But a lot of times, guess what? They didn't want Rome replacing them, or they didn't want the Pharisees replacing them or taking that power from them. Let's read up. It's the book of John, chapter 11 and verse 47. We're going to get right to the point. The book of John, chapter 11 and verse 47. Make sure brothers and sisters are writing these things down as well. Then gathered the chief priests and the Pharisees a council and said, what do we? For this man doeth many miracles. If we let him thus alone, all men will believe on him. And the Romans, which was the ruling power, which was the nation that we was under captivity in, which is the so-called white man today. It says, and the Romans shall come and take away both our place and nation. So they understood that, guess what? If they follow Christ openly, then guess what? They will have their positions of power taken away. And that goes to say with brothers and sisters in some of these organizations today. They know if they associate themselves with Israelites openly, that they will be taken away. We see with certain people that know about the truth, you have Ice Cube citing IUIC one time. You have Kendrick Lamar. They know about the truth, man. You know, we don't put much stock into that because the Bible says not many noble or not many mighty are called. Meaning it's not going to be a lot of celebrities and mighty men or intellectuals coming to this truth. You know, because a lot of times our people gravitate towards them because of their fame and status and not because of the Most High. Shalom, brother Obadiah. Shalom, sister Deborah, sister Yael. How y'all sisters doing? So we see those things. Shalom, sister Danielle. How you doing, sis? Shalom, mother Mariah. Brothers and sisters that's coming in that I missed. Shalom to all y'all. So we see that they had the ability to take away both their place and their power. But that is a good question, sister Genesis. But yeah, it was some that did believe on. Let's go back to First Maccabees. Shalom, Officer Yaakov and family. Shalom. The book of First Maccabees, chapter 3. You said verse 21. That's another good precept. The book of First Maccabees, chapter 3, verse 21. It reads, but we fight for our lives and our laws. And that's what our job is. Sometimes it may get physical out there, but best believe we have our people's best interests at heart, even in those heated situations. So what we practice with the brothers, we just grab brother's hand, take them down to the ground, you know, and that's it. Hold them till the police come, let the brother back up. We want to make sure that we're not suffocating the brother, doing none of those things. We ain't gonna have a George Floyd incident out there, man. You know, because we actually love our people. You ain't having the brothers hit the brother while he down. Now we do those things with in decency and in order. And I know a lot of times that instinct comes into a brother to want to, you know, lay hands on a brother like Nehemiah, but we got to stay in the spirit, especially in those particular times, man. Brothers got to stay in the spirit. But I know, like I said, brothers and sisters will see those things and see what we have to go through as a nation of people when dealing with our people. Shalom, brother Dexter says, Shalom, Cap. I went back and watched the beginning of the video. I pray everybody is okay and eyes are up. That's right. Heads on a swivel. Just restraining him is sufficient and wise protocol. That's right. Yeah, all praise, sis. Everything is good, Sister Danielle. Hope everything good with you, sis. But that is the protocol, you know, to just help restrain our people, you know, and not fight our people. Because ultimately, like we say, we want to apply what? This right here. Let's go to the book of Leviticus, the classic, the main precept that we always go to, man. The book of Leviticus, chapter 19, verse 17, thou shalt not hate thy brother in thine heart. Thou shalt in any wise rebuke thy neighbor. So guess what? It's our job not to hate our brothers and sisters in our heart, man. I don't know. I know brothers was going live on Facebook, I think, and on YouTube, if I'm not mistaken. You asking or you saying it? Because I hadn't seen. Y'all know I work late night, so I'd be catching up on sleep during the daytime. But it's our job not to hate our brothers and our sisters in our heart. But it is also our job and a law for us. Shalom, Brother Uriah. Brother, one of the brothers, Brother Uriah, Brother Abraham, Brother Ezekiel, they did a great job of taking down the brother, you know, and doing it in decency and in order. Shots go out to those brothers, man. Battle X as a whole did a great job. Because this is why we actually do those things, and that's why it's pivotal that brothers and sisters stay in order. Because one thing those demons that are out there trying to do, they trying to stop the word from coming out. So we want to make sure, they say with Captain Jeroboam up there teaching, that was in order. As they took the brother down, guess what? He's steady bringing out the scriptures. That's one of the main things that they want to do. They want to distract and they want to stop the words of the Most High God from coming out. You know, so we want to make sure that we never stop the word from coming out. That we have brothers set to the side to handle those situations, come back, get back in order, and guess what? Continue to keep bringing the word out. You know, Sister Danielle said, Cap, are Filipinos a part of us? As a whole, they are not. But remember, Israel is scattered amongst all nations. So it's very well. We got a brother that's over there, Brother Obadiah. I think it's the brother in the chat. I think it's Brother Obadiah. Let me know if that's you, Brother Obadiah. That's in the chat. By Shimmy Yahweh Shah. Let me know if that's you. But if that's the case, yes, we have a brother that's over there in the Philippines right now. So remember, even with the Vietnam Wars, it's still, they was over there mixing with the other nations. So it's still Israelites that are over there. You know, it's still Israelites that are in the Philippines. But as a whole, the Filipinos will be of the seed of Japheth. The Filipinos, the Polynesians, the Hawaiians. They will come from the lineage of Japheth. So let's get there. Let's go to the book of Deuteronomy. Remember, we were scattered everywhere. That was one of the curses in the book of Deuteronomy. So when the Most High God said that he scattered us in the corners, that's very well what he did. Like what Brother Abraham putting up in there. We get it from the old and the new. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 64. And it reads, and the Lord shall scatter thee among the people. From the one end of the earth, that means from the western hemisphere, even unto the other end of the earth, from the western hemisphere. So we're all over. Yeah, that's exactly right. You know, that's why I made that reference, because our brothers from the Army, from the Navy, they go and be stationed at these areas. And then what do? They mix with those people, meaning they go in and have sex with them. And the product of those things, a lot of the times, is that they have children, you know. That's right. Deuteronomy chapter 4, verse 27, another great precept that we'll go to. It says that, and the Lord shall scatter thee among the people from the one end of the earth, even unto the other. And there thou shalt serve other gods, which neither nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone. So we see that our people were scattered amongst the nations. Brother Obadiah put a great precept in there. Let's get another one. Go to the book of Deuteronomy chapter 4, verse 27. And the Lord will scatter you among the nations, and ye shall be left few in number among the heathen, whether the Lord shall lead you. So we see that the Most High God, due to us breaking the commandments, he scattered us. How did he scatter us? By way of slavery and slave ships. Let's get one from the New Testament, like Brother Abraham just put in there. Go to the book of James. So even when Christians, like we tell them, I know Brother Yawal from Sons of Thunder did a great class on that, man. They're like, why in the hell are y'all even going to the book of James when the book of James is telling you who it's addressed to? This is the book of James, chapter 1, verse 1. James, a servant of God and of the Lord Yahushua, to the 12 tribes which are scattered abroad, greeting. So this is literally letting you know that the book, the epistle of James, is written and addressed to the 12 tribes scattered abroad. Greetings. It's not written for all nations. And that's why it's very pivotal that brothers, when you out there teaching, keep it in its cultural context. Christians always say, y'all taking it out of context. Well, we're literally reading you the context. We're literally just reading the scriptures verbatim. Brother Don Israel in the same spirit, like I put on there, James chapter 1, verse 1. You know, so we see that, guess what? Our people are scattered everywhere. You know, no, yeah, I know. We heard about situations like that, and I know that's why brothers had protocols not to have camps with us, and we understood that. But we understand the job that we have here in Israel. And we say we want to kind of be a little bit more organized and have the Most High God protect us with the angels. I know certain brothers do carry their weapons out there, but battle axes, we don't. We understand that this is Texas. You can have your weapon in your car, but we don't allow brothers to have weapons out there at camp. You know, we just don't. We want to make ourselves blameless in that situation. You know, we just have to have faith in the Most High that He's having His angels, protecting us, man. Let's go to the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 23. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 23, and verse 14, and it reads, "For the Lord thy God walketh in the midst of thy camp to deliver thee, and to give up thine enemies before thee. Therefore shall thy camp be holy, that he see no unclean thing in thee, and turn away from thee." That's why it's pivotal. If brothers are dealing with something, let leaders know, so we can sit you out, so it's no unclean thing in our camp, so the Most High God can keep us protected with the angels. Let's get that in the book of First Kings, Second Kings. We want our camp to be holy, brothers and sisters, man, and that's as a congregation as a whole, not just in at camp. This is the book of Second Kings, chapter 6 and verse 16. And it reads, "And he answered, Fear not, for they that be with us are more than they that be with them. And Elisha prayed and said, Lord, I pray, open his eyes that he may see. And the Lord opened the eyes of the young man, and he saw. And behold, the mountain was full of horses and chariots of fire round about Elisha." So we see, and that's why it's pivotal that brothers, guess what? Repent for the things that they deal with, confess their faults. So guess what? We can sit a brother down, hey, because we want the Most High God to constantly abide and protect us and send his angels out there amongst us. I ain't forgot about your brother Nehemiah. It says, "My question is dealing with the lights of Genesis chapter 1, verses 1 through 5 and 14. So he created light twice in the verse 14 and light, and put in the firmament to give light. What is the light in verse 3 and 4? Well, to even understand that, what is the light? Let's get that. So, and that's a good question that comes up. So we know light is a similitude for a couple of things. This is the book of Genesis, chapter 1 and verse 3. "And God said, Let there be light, and there was light." So what light is this that it's talking about? Let's go to the book of John, chapter 1, verse 5. Let's see what light is it. Because like you said, when you read on down to verse 14, it's talking about lights. That's talking about the sun and the moon. Wait a minute, I thought he created light in verse 3. So is the Bible contradicting itself? No. Let's see what the understanding is. Let's go to the book of John, chapter 1, verse 5. Because who also is considered a light? Christ. Remember, Christ was the firstborn of everything, the first creation of the Most High. So Christ is that light that was created in the book of Genesis, chapter 1 and verse 3. This is the book of John, chapter 1 and verse 5. I'm going to start at verse 1, and we're going to read down because Christians continue to butcher this scripture. The book of John, chapter 1 and verse 1. "In the beginning was the Word." Who is the Word? Christ. "And the Word was with God, and the Word was God." So that's the part that hang Christians up. Christians don't understand when the Bible talks about guys. Even in the King James Version, sometimes they capitalize it and it doesn't need to be capitalized. Because in this one right here is making reference to Christ. Christ is a God, but he is not the most high God. Israelites are considered gods, meaning judges and powers and rulers. Remember, brothers and sisters, in the scriptures, certain words can have multiple definitions. It depends on the context in which it is used. Verse 1 again from the top. In the beginning was the Word. That Word is who? Christ. And the Word was with God. So we see that Christ was with God in the beginning because he is the firstborn creation of everything. And the Word was God, meaning Christ is a God. When you read in the book of what? Isaiah chapter 9, verse 6, it says the mighty God. But is he the most high God? No. And this is the understanding that Christians don't have. I'm going to continue to read because we have a breakdown on it. The same was in the beginning with God, going into what? That light in the beginning. Verse 3, all things were made by him, and without him was not anything made that was made. In him was life, and the life was the light of men. In Christ, he has light, and his life is the light of men. This is cold precepts. Verse 5. And the light shineth in darkness, and the darkness comprehended it not. Meaning when Christ was on the scene, they couldn't understand his teachings. You know, he was so filled with the wisdom and knowledge and understanding of the Most High. It says, and the light shineth in darkness, and darkness comprehended it not. So we see that that light that is talking about was talking about Christ. Let's jump down. Verse 8. He was not that light, meaning John the Baptist, but was sent to bear witness of that light. Who is this light that John the Baptist was sent to witness? Yahushua. It says, the same came for a witness to bear witness of the light, that all men through him might believe. He was not that light, but was sent to bear witness of that light. That was the true light, which lighted every man that cometh into the world. So we see that this light that is talking about is making reference to who? To Christ. This is the same light in the book of Genesis, chapter 1, verse 3. Let me know if you understand that, brother. Yes, Sister Janita, right? Deuteronomy chapter 4, verse 27 is a precept for Deuteronomy 28 and 64. That's right. There's another great precept too, for scattered. Tobit chapter 3, verse 13. So, Sisters Janita, you can also put Tobit 13 and 3 with that. Like I say, Brother Uriah put Isaiah 11 and 11, those great precepts for scattered Israelites. Shalom, Brother Fred. How y'all doing? How you doing? I missed you in class yesterday. Where was you at the work? Yeah, they say the apocrypha. We don't give a damn what they say. Brothers putting great precepts up in the chat, man. Y'all want to make sure that y'all write these things down. Got Officer Barakiah putting Proverbs 6 and 23, which is going into the law. Got Brother Moses putting Sirach 48 and 10. John 8 and 12. Brothers putting great precepts. Shalom, the unfiltered sister. How you doing, sis? Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 9, verse 9 is many, many precepts concerning scattered and light. Let's get some more on that. That's right. Brother Dunn Israel put a great precept in there. Exodus chapter 14, verse 14. The Lord shall fight for you and ye shall hold your peace. And we have to have faith in that. You know, best believe we will defend ourselves, but we defend ourselves even in decency and in order. You know, that's the understanding, brothers and sisters. Shalom, Brother Hosea. How you doing? Great precepts that are being put in the chat. So let's go to the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 6 and verse 40. Give you another precept. Remember, the book of 2nd Ezra expound on things created in the book of Genesis. It's expounding upon the book of Genesis. Really want my other. Make sure that y'all taking good notes. Remember, brothers and sisters, you may have brothers break the book of Genesis down parts at a time. So you want to make sure that you collectively collect all those parts and put them together. And you can get a great understanding of it. Because remember, the book of Genesis is one of the hardest books of the Bible to understand or to interpret, because it's full of similitudes, analogies, metaphors, and parables. Parables is going into illustrated stories. So it's full of them. That's why a lot of time in Christianity, they think that the snake was slithering around talking to Eve, talking about bite this apple, Eve. Or that Adam and Eve were the only people on the planet Earth Then we see Cain kill Abel. So in chapter 4, Cain get a wife. So who the hell, where did this wife come from? I mean, it's madness, man. And there's people that just be going off and they don't have the understanding of the scriptures because they don't what? Keep the commandments. A lot of times, brothers and sisters think, and it's something that I love to stress. Brothers and sisters actually think that they can keep and understand the Bible without keeping God's laws, statutes, and commandments. And they're sadly mistaken. You cannot do it. When you are saying that you can, that's what we brought out in the book of John, chapter 10, verse 34. You are trying to break the scriptures. And you, like the scribes and the Pharisees, you're trying to make the scriptures to none effect. Because you can't overthrow what the Most High God has set up and ordained. You just can't. This is the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 6 and verse 40. We're going to get straight to the point. There's another precept that you can put with Genesis chapter 1, verse 3, John chapter 1, verse 5 through 8, and 2nd Ezra chapter 6 through 40 on down. I'm going to start up. This is the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 6 and verse 38. And I said, O Lord, thou spakest from the beginning of the creation, even the first day, and saidest thus, let heaven and earth be made, and thy word was a perfect work. And then was the spirit in darkness, and silence were on every side. The sound of man's voice was not yet formed. Verse 40 is the point. Then commandest thou a fair light to come forth of thy treasures, that thy work may appear. Meaning what? The Most High God created Christ, and he had Christ create everything else. It says, so that first light is Yahweh Shai, and when it says in the beginning God created the heaven and the earth, who is that? Yahweh Shai. Yes, remember, in the beginning, the Most High is before everything. So you have the Most High, then you have Christ, then he has Christ creating everything. So remember, through thy precepts we get understanding. So when you add up all these precepts, that's the only conclusion that you come to. You know, precepts that we went to in book Shalom, brother Big Judah. Precepts that we just went to in the book of John, chapter 1, verse 5 through 8. This precept that we read in the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 6, verse 40. And we're going to go to other precepts too to further prove that Christ is the beginning of all creations and that God used him to create everything. Verse 40 again from the top, 2nd Ezra chapter 6, verse 40. Then commandest thou a fair light to come forth of thy treasures. This is the point, that thy work might appear. Meaning Christ, the Most High God created Christ, and that his following work may appear. That's a great precept. So you want to make sure that you have that as well. Let's go get some more. Let's go to the book of Colossians, chapter 1, verse 13. Then we'll get Revelation chapter 3 and verse 20. Hope I'm not quoting that wrong. I'll be forgetting now. I know Soldier Donovan was giving me that time and I misread it in my scriptures. This is the book of Colossians, chapter 1 and verse. We're going to start at verse 15. The book of Colossians, chapter 1, verse 15. Who is the image of the invisible God, the firstborn of every creature? For by him were all things created that are in heaven and that are in earth, visible and invisible. So Christ, the Most High God, used Christ to do what? Create invisible things. What are some of the things that are invisible? You have molecules that are invisible. Matter is invisible. Spirits are invisible. These things are invisible to the naked eye. It says, whether they be thrones or dominions or principalities or powers, all things were created by him and for him. So you have to understand that, guess what? The Most High God used Christ to create those things. Great precepts that Ox putting up in there. Proverbs 8 and 22. I mean, this thing can just go on and on. Question: why do we say we come from Adam and not Cain, but we refer to Edomites having the same spirit as Cain? Because remember, the Most High God does what? Chooses good and bad. The Most High God has specific lineages that he had his people come through. I did a class on that too, Brother Hosea, showing you that the Most High God has a chosen generation of men that he dealt with. So even we can just kind of run through this a little quick, real quick. So we have the book of Genesis. So we know that the Most High God in Genesis chapter 2, verse 7. The book of Genesis chapter 2, verse 7. And the Lord formed man of the dust of the ground and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life. And man became a living soul. So we see this is where the Most High God started to do what? Deal with Adam. Most High God made him Lord of all thy creatures. And jump down. Hold on. And the Lord took the man and put him in the Garden of Eden. So this is where the Most High God started to deal with Adam on a high level. Adam was the first chosen when we read Genesis chapter 2, verse 7 on down. Let's go on. So we then know that he had who? Cain and Abel. Cain slew Abel. So that made Cain what? Evil and wicked. When you read in the book of Genesis, chapter 4, let's get that. This is the book of Genesis, chapter 4, and verse 1, going into Cain and Abel. It says, and Adam knew Eve, his wife, and she conceived and bare Cain and said, I have gotten a man of the Lord. And she again bare his brother Abel. So remember, it's going into the same thing. Esau was our older brother, just like Cain. He's the older, wicked brother. But who did the Most High God chose? He chose that second son, just like in this same account with Cain and Abel. And bare Cain and said, I have gotten a man from the Lord. And she bare again his brother Abel. And Abel was a keeper of sheep. Because what are characteristics? Most High God compares us to a sheep. He compares Christ to a what? To a shepherd. So this is not a coincidence. It says, but Cain was a tiller of the ground. And in process of time, it came to pass that Cain brought of the fruit of the ground an offering unto the Lord. And Abel, he also brought of the firstlings of his flock and of the fat thereof. And the Lord had respect unto Abel and to his offering, but unto Cain and to his offering he had not respect. Showing you that, guess what? Cain was following what his father Adam and his mother Eve had taught him how to serve and sacrifice to the Lord. And we see that Cain didn't. We literally see why the Most High God is choosing Abel. Because Cain was going off, wanted to do his own thing. You know, self-will. And that's what a lot of our people are in these times, man. Verse 6, and the Lord said unto Cain, why art thou walked? Meaning, why are you looking like that? Fix your face. And why is thy countenance fallen? If thou doest well, shalt thou not be accepted? And that's something that we tell brothers and sisters, especially when we're giving counsel in the congregation. Brother, if you do according to the scriptures, won't you be accepted? But you know when you're going off, because guess what? Now we got to have counsel. Sis, you know you're going off because what now? We having counsel. And this goes for any brother, even higher up or lower up. It's no respect of persons. It says, if thou doest well, shalt thou not be accepted. And if thou doest not well, sin lieth at the door. And unto thee shall be his desire, meaning Satan's desire. And thou shalt rule over him, meaning sin shall rule over him and Satan rules over him. Let's jump down. We see when verse 8, Cain is murdered Abel. So then we see in verses 11, the curse of Cain. Let's jump down to verse 25. And Adam knew his wife again, and she bare a son, and called his name Seth. For God said she had appointed me another seed instead of Abel, whom Cain slew. So we see that the Most High God was dealing with Abel. Cain was cast off and cursed. Most High God started to do what? Deal with Seth. Then it's going into Adam's descendants. We see what the Most High God dealt with Seth as his descendants, Enos, Canaan, Mahaliel, Jared, Enoch, Methuselah, Lamech, Noah, then Shem. It's literally showing you that lineage who the Most High God was dealing with. You understand that, Brother Hosea? It says, unfiltered sister, what scripture talks about the length of time to mourn? What is the scripture on remembering the dead? Let's get there right quick. Go to the book of Sirach. That's in the book of Sirach, sis. Let's get there. So the Bible tells and teaches us on how to mourn for brothers and sisters that we have lost in its truth, depending on how mighty they were. Let's see. Let's go to the book of Sirach, chapter 41. The book of Sirach, chapter 41 and verse 1. And it reads, brothers and sisters, y'all put the precepts in the chat. It says, death, how bitter is the remembrance of thee to a man that liveth at rest in his possessions, unto the man that had nothing to vex him, and that had prosperity in all things, yea, unto him that is yet able to receive meat. Let me go. Now, let me go over. Let me go over to 38. Let's go to the book of Sirach, chapter 38. But that's also another precept, sis, that you can add to your notes. This is the book of Sirach, chapter 38 and verse 16. And it reads, my son, let tears fall down over the dead, and begin to lament, as if thou hadst suffered great harm thyself, and then cover his body according to the custom, and neglect not his burial. Weep bitterly, and make great moaning, and use lamentations, as he is worthy. Meaning, if your husband or your brother was very mighty in his truth, then guess what? You can mourn mightily for that brother for a number of days. Because guess what? That brother did great works, or that sister did great works in his truth. Like our forefathers, they mourned our forefather Moses for 40 days, man. You know, mighty, mighty brother, man, when we read in the book of Deuteronomy. It says, weep bitterly and make great moan and use lamentations, as he is worthy. And that day or two, least thou be even spoken of, and then comfort thyself for heaviness. So this is the point, as he is worthy. Meaning our people mourn over people that was wicked as hell, meaning they are not worthy. Yes, you can moan or mourn over them, but 40 days, 2 years, 3 years, and a brother that was wicked, causing all type of hell and havoc in our nation of people, that's utter madness, man. Let's go to the book of Deuteronomy. End of the chapter. Deuteronomy chapter 30 days. So like your brothers and sisters. This is the book of Deuteronomy chapter 34 and verse 7. And Moses was 120 years old when he died, and his eye was not dim, nor his natural force abated. And the children of Israel wept for Moses in the plains of Moab 30 days. So the days of weeping and mourning for Moses were ended. So I said 40 days. So like your brothers and sisters, it was 30 days. Because guess what? Moses was a mighty, mighty brother. It says, what is the scripture on remembering the dead on their expiration date, and also going to the cemetery every year? Yeah, we don't. If brothers could put that in the chat, because the Bible tells us a certain time. Even when we read the book of Sirach, chapter 38, it tells you as worthy as they are. But I'm gonna tell you, you won't find too many people worthy like Moses, and they mourn Moses 30 days. You know, so your brother have to be a mighty brother, or a sister have to be very mighty. Like I said, I doubt that. But remember, you do have a certain time to mourn. The thing is, the Most High God is letting us know sorrow had killed many. So you want to continue to mourn that brother or that sister, and then guess what? Put a spirit on you of sorrow that you can't get off. Says Ephesians, brothers put Proverbs 8:22 from early Ephesians 3:9, and to make all men see what is the fellowship of the mystery, which from the beginning of the world had been hid in God, who created all things by Yahushua. That's a great precept too, Brother Don Israel. I can always put great precepts in there. So once Yah created Yahushua, he stopped creating and give power to Yahushua. Remember, Sister Janetta, The Most High God is still, it's like the Most High God is the architect and Christ is the construction work. So the Most High God is giving Christ the plans on how he wants to build. That don't mean that they stop, because he still is doing what? Giving those orders to Christ. You understand that? Thanks, Revelations 4:11. Barak Israel. Shalom, Captain. Can you please give me the understanding of Revelation 16:13, particular the unclean spirits? So I know we done touched on this many times. Those three unclean spirits, let's get that. Meaning because they hop and they leap. So this is the book of Revelations, chapter 16. Brothers and sisters, y'all give me some feedback to let me know if I'm answering y'all questions accordingly, or if we need more and more precepts, because brothers are putting great precepts up in there. This is the book of Revelation, chapter 16 and verse 13. We start up at verse 12. Remember, this is going into angels giving certain orders on when to unlock certain things in prophecies, or things to make happen on the planet Earth. This is the book of Revelation, chapter 16 and verse 12. And the sixth angel poured out his vial upon the great river Euphrates, and the water thereof was dried up. So we see when the sixth angel is giving that order, remember, these things have already been going on in time. People read the scriptures like they're literally just happening today. No, this has been happening over a period of time, and it's getting drier and drier and lower and lower. Now people are starting to report about these things because they're starting to find all types of artifacts in the Euphrates rivers, because it's, guess what, getting so low. So the Most High God has a particular spirit over there working on the hearts and minds of the people to do what? Dry up the river Euphrates, meaning take much water out of it, create dams, anything that they can do to do what? Dry it up, so that they can bring about what? World War III. So the kings from the east can come across the river Euphrates and fight against the people in the Middle East, or Armageddon. Verse 12 again from the top. And the sixth angel poured out his vial upon the great river Euphrates, and the water thereof was dried up, that the way of the kings of the east might be prepared. Meaning they're setting the stage for Armageddon in World War III. Verse 13. And I saw three unclean spirits like frogs come out of the mouth of the dragon. So what are these three unclean spirits? These three unclean spirits, think about who is the dragon. The dragon would be Esau, mainly making reference to America. What are the three things, the three unclean spirits that have our people in an uproar constantly? Think about some of the major things in the earth. So one of the major things in the earth is religion. Politics is another thing. And then economics. Those are the three main things that cause this turmoil in the earth. Meaning what? Nations are fighting over who has a lack of resources, who has more resources. That goes into economics. You need money because you need money to what? To have power, to have rule over people. You use politics to do what? Deceive people into coming over to your way. And you also use what? Religion to control people. Because if you can get them to worship a God that looks like them, then they'll look at you as gods. So that's what these three unclean spirits go into: economics, religion, and politics. Because those are the three things that control the world on a grand scale. Think about it. No nation of people have a place in this world with power without those three major things. Those are three major components of ruling the planet Earth. It says, and I saw three unclean spirits like frogs come out of the mouth of the dragon, and out of the mouth of the beast, and out of the mouth of the false prophet. Because we see that false prophet makes reference to what? Christianity. When people read the Bible, you see false prophet and you think it's just one man going around and causing turmoil on the planet Earth. No, it is a system that is doing these things. The system of Christianity is causing havoc in the planet Earth. That's mainly why people want to fight us when we out there on the streets, because they got white man Jesus stitched into their damn head. That's why they don't want to change their lives, because they got Christianity where it tells you You don't have to keep the laws no more. All you have to do is have faith. You can be on your deathbed and repent and you still going to heaven, my brother. No, no. It gets our people to do what? Constantly do anything to chase money. People will sell their souls for money. Think about it, brothers and sisters. These are three dirty, unclean spirits, man. Think about how many brothers and sisters we done lost in the hoods because they constantly want to chase money or do anything for money. That's what they always put on YouTube, on TikTok, on these YouTube shorts. That's constantly what you see. If it's not about what? Money, politics, and religion. Those are the three main things. It says, and I saw three unclean spirits like frogs come out of the mouth of the dragon and out of the mouth of the beast. Because guess what? You have things that are constantly put on TV that constantly program us, brainwashes us to constantly go after these three things. It says, and out of the mouth of the false prophet, verse 14, for they are the spirits of devils. You think about these things, these spirits of devils. A devil means what? To deceive. With those three things, what major way to deceive the people in those things? Religion is deceiving people. Politics is deceiving the people. Think about politics. They talk about Democrat and Republicans, but they're two sides of the same coin under the same system of the white man. And our people want to be in politics so bad that they think that those things are changing how our society looks. And it doesn't. The hood looks the same under Joe Biden. The hood looks the same under Donald Trump. It's the same thing, man. It's still deceiving the masses. Christianity, the hoods look the same with all those damn churches that populate our neighborhoods. You don't see none of those at many churches as you see in so-called white neighborhoods as you do in so-called black church neighborhoods. Our people have to understand why. Why is that? Because they are the spirits of devils. It says, for they are the spirits of devils working miracles. Because our people look at those things like they're doing our people some good. They see Esau with all the money and the status, and guess what? Our people want to be like them, not knowing what Esau done did to get to that level. Esau has generational wealth. What does that mean? Slave money. When you talk about old money, that's what they making reference to. Guess what? That money was built on the backs of our forefathers and foremothers, man. That's why they have that money, man. And they already had a system put in place to do what? Deceive our people. So they can constantly do what? Stay ahead of us. It says, for they are the spirits of devils working miracles, which go forth unto the kings of the earth. Kings of the earth is making mention of rulers of the earth. So who would be the kings of the earth? Yes, you do have kings in Saudi Arabia and princes and in Great Britain, but the kings of the earth is also making reference to who? The presidents of the United States, the senates, the governors, the Republicans. This is also making kings, people with rulership, the kings of the earth and of the whole world, to gather them to the battle of the great day of God Almighty. Think about these three things. That's normally and always why is what? No peace in the Middle East. They're fighting over money. They're fighting over religion. You have Islam and Christianity. You have Ishmael and Esau. Then you have what? Politics and then money. You're constantly at odds over there because they can't come on one accord with those things. So that's what it's making reference to. Yeah, the book of Genesis does go back and forth. Deuteronomy 32:7 had to work. Okay, all right. Starts in the beginning, jumps to the future. Then, yeah, it goes back and forth in time. So even though his kids were wicked, the Most High God dealt with Adam just like we as Israelites, but went off the promises was our father. Make that a little bit more clear, Brother Jose. Even though his kids, who kids? Remember, even out of Adam's kids, he didn't choose everybody. So even out of Noah's three sons, who did he only choose? He only chose Shem. When you read the book of Genesis chapter 9, verse 26. So just because the Most High God still uses people, he uses them for their own purpose. So the purpose of him using Shem, Ham, and Japheth was to repopulate the earth. But the Most High God was going to keep his commandments dealing with Shem. Deuteronomy 8:1, Steve has written, serve. That's right. 21, Sirach 22 and 12. Brothers and sisters putting great precepts up in there. Wisdom of Solomon 3 and 4 for debt. Another good precept on debt. Ecclesiasticus, Wisdom of Solomon. So, let me skip down. Shalom, Captain Yari. Says Matthews 8 and 21, and another of his disciples said unto him, Lord, suffer me first to go and bury my father. But Yahushua said unto him, follow me and let the dead bury the dead. Another great precept. Like I say, brothers and sisters putting great precepts on death in the chat. Spirit sleep. Another great precept for Revelation chapter 16, verse 13 and 12 on down. Acts chapter 19, verse 16. Khan, Officer Barakaya. All praises, sis. E. Hardy, politics, religions, economics. That's right. Religion. Says, I feel bad that I don't greet you as much as in comparison to other brothers. I ain't leaving anyone out. Hell, not so long. Khan, not. Where we at in the chat? Revelation 16. Shalom, Brother Damien. How you doing, Ak, out there in Jamaica? Shalom, Ak. Yeah, that's right. Two wings on the same bird. Can I get an understanding of 1 Samuel chapter 15, verses 7 through 20? Shalom, Sister Mitra. Y'all have to forgive me. I know you. I do want to make sure that we answer the questions real good, basically. This is the book of 1 Samuel chapter 15 and verse 7. This is going into how Saul was commissioned to destroy the Amalekites. Jumping down to verse 7. The book of 1 Samuel chapter 15 verse 7. And it reads, And Saul smote the Amalekites from Havilah until thou comest to Shur, that is over against Egypt. So the Most High God told Saul to kill all the Amalekites. Verse 8, and he took Agag, the king of the Amalekites, alive. So did he follow the commandments of the Most High? No, because the Most High God told him to slay all of them. But he took the king of Agag alive. God didn't tell you to do that. And a lot of times, brothers and sisters, just do what's commanded of thee. I understand to a degree, brothers and sisters kind of want to feel like they're going the extra mile. But just do what the Most High God is telling you. Don't be over righteous with it. Don't be under righteous. You want to have that perfect balance with the Most High. A lot of times, brothers and sisters do overstep their boundaries, man. You want to make sure you stay within the guidelines and within the roles and within the confines of what God is telling you to do. No more, no less. Verse 8 again. And he took Agag, the king of the Amalekites, alive, and utterly destroyed all the people with the edge of the sword. But Saul and the people spared Agag and the best of the sheep and of the oxen and of the fatlings and of the lambs and all that was good, and would not utterly destroy them, because the Most High God told them to slay everything. You know what Esau was doing with that cattle? Most High God have these things set up for a reason. Negroes always thinking that they know more than the Most High. And that's where we constantly go. It's a way that seemeth right to men, but the end thereof is destruction, man. So we be having in our mind, oh no, I know this right. Oh, I know this Bible. I have great discernment. I have a good understanding of the scriptures. I know what the Most High God requires of me. But then you're doing things that guess what, he's not pleased with. So we want to make sure that we do and follow the straight commandments that the Most High God gives us. I'm going to read it again from the top. But Saul and the people spared Agag and the best of the sheep and of the oxen and of the fatlings and of the lambs and all that was good, and would not utterly destroy them, but everything that was vile and refused, that they destroyed utterly. Then came the word of the Lord unto Samuel, saying, It repented me that I have set up Saul to be king, for he had turned back from following me and had not performed my commandments. And it grieved Samuel, and he cried unto the Lord all night. So we see what the Most High God was doing, what? Rebuking. And it repented the Most High God. That guess what? he had made Saul king because he understood that, guess what? He didn't keep his commandments. Verse 12. And when Samuel rose early to meet Saul in the morning, it was told Samuel, saying, Saul came to Carmel, and behold, he was set up to a place, and is gone about, and passed on, and gone down to Gilgal. So when we read verses 13 down to 20, is going into how Samuel is rebuking Saul for his disobedience unto the Most High. And Samuel came to Saul, and Saul said unto him, Blessed be thou of the Lord. I have performed the commandment of the Lord. And Samuel said, What meaneth then this bleating of the sheep in mine ears, and the lowing of the ox which I hear? So Samuel was hearing the animals. Like, damn, didn't I tell you to kill everything from the Most High? Verse 15. And Saul said, They have brought them from the Amalekites, for the people spared the best of the sheep and of the oxen to sacrifice unto the Lord thy God. And the rest we have utterly destroyed. The Most High God didn't ask you to do that. What does the Most High God need with sheep? He wants you to obey his commandments, man. It says, Then Samuel said to Saul, Stay, and I will tell thee what the Lord has said to me this night. And he said unto him, Say on. And Samuel said, When thou wast little in thine own sight, wast thou not made the head of the tribes of Israel? And the Lord anointed thee king over Israel. And the Lord sent thee on a journey and said, Go and utterly destroy the sinners of the Amalekites, and fight against them until they be consumed. Wherefore then thou didst not obey the voice of the Lord, but didst fly upon the spoil, and didst evil in the sight of the Lord. See, he's literally telling them what he did wrong. Verse 20, and Saul said unto Samuel, Yes, I have obeyed the voice of the Lord. Then a nigga lie. Boy, you know these is niggas right here, and I have to say that like that because Negroes do that type of stuff. Brother, I swear to God that you didn't go off. Then you get a call. Yes, I did go off. Verse 20. And Saul said unto Samuel, Yes, I have obeyed the voice of the Lord, and I have gone the way which the Lord sent me, and have brought Agag, the king of Amalek, and have utterly destroyed the Amalekites. I ain't gonna even lie, but it make you feel some type of way just steady reading on about it, man. Shalom, Sister Mitra. How you doing, sis? Revelations chapter 12, verse 7 through 10. Was that really a war in heaven or a myth? Remember, we kind of went over this, Sister Mitra. That was not literal. Remember, sis, the Most High God's, if the Most High God literally had a war in heaven, that would mean that God doesn't have ultimate power, omniscient power, going into all power. No, that is a similitude for the war that's going to be on earth. I'm going to say, you can call me, sis, because I see you kind of struggling with that, because I know we kind of went over there like 3 weeks ago, sis. Remember, we have classes on these things. That's just basically going into how the Most High God's, and that's literally why I did that class for you, sis, about a month ago. It's titled, I have to send it back to you, going into war in heaven, angels versus demons. But that's basically going into how the Most High God with Christ's army is going to fight with the powers that be on earth's army. Heaven has many different definitions. The heaven that is talking about in the book of Revelation chapter 12 is going into rulership over the planet earth. Let's get that precept right quick. Let's go to the book of Lamentations. You're not struggling with that, are you, sis? Let me know, sis. That's why I kind of pose it like that, because just think about it. If God was really having a fight in heaven with the angels or whatnot, that will means that God doesn't have things in order. I'm going to tell you, man, a lot of times we look at the Most High like a genie or something, like he's somebody to be played with. Evil angels and the good angels, I have to say it plain, they are scared of hell of the Most High. They not thinking about rebelling against the Most High God on no levels. We can never have that thought in our head like that. That's why we always tell brothers and sisters in Christianity, they lack common sense. Because when we think of the Most High God having all power, that's literally what that means. But they don't understand the strength of the Most High. So if that's the case, then he's not all powerful. If he would have certain people that would fight in his place of dwellings. No. Everything is in total order and submission under the power of the Most High. I'm gonna tell you, man, he's not a God that we should F with. I got to say it plain like that. Because people sometimes take the Most High God as a joke, man. He don't play. But this is the precept showing you that this is the heaven that it's talking about. This is the book of Lamentations, chapter 2 and verse 1. And it reads, how hath the Lord covered the daughter of Zion with a cloud in his anger, and cast down from heaven unto the earth the beauty of Israel. Meaning, once upon a time, Israel was the top nation on the planet Earth. But when we broke God's commandments, he did what? He put us down on a lower estate. Heaven is going into rulership over the planet Earth. That's one of the definitions of heaven. This is something that you have to understand too, Sister Mitra. Heaven has many different definitions. So depending on the context, depend on which definition is used according to the scripture. One definition of heaven, sis, is the third heaven where God dwells. Another definition of heaven is space where the sun and the moon resides. Another definition of heaven is the sky where the birds and fowls of heaven fly. The fourth definition of heaven is rulership over the planet Earth. So if you understand those definitions and you read Revelation chapter 12, verse 7, which one of those definitions fit that context? Number 4, rulership over the planet Earth. You understand that part, sis? Let me know, sis. That's right. We're not supposed to be voting on any part of their organizations. It says Cain was the wicked son, and out of the wicked sons of Israel. Remember, we come through Shem, though, Ak. That's the point. What you missing on that, Ak, Brother Hosea? It said Cain was the wicked son, and out of the wicked sons of Israel coming. Yeah, remember the 144,000 out of Shem, out of Adam's sons. You have Seth and Cain. Most High God was dealing with Seth. So he was dealing with the righteous sons of Seth out of each lineage that he chose. I'm just skipping around. Then you have Noah. So I just go from Seth to Noah, the Most High God dealt with. Then out of Noah, 3 sons. He didn't deal with Japheth or Ham. He only dealt with Shem to pass down his laws, statutes, and commandments. Then out of that, you got Methuselah before that. Then you got Abraham. I'm just getting straight to the point. Then you have Jacob. Then you have Isaac. Then you have the 12 tribes of Israel. You understand? There's always a specific lineage that the Most High God is always dealing with. It says, obey Yah because we don't know more than him. That's right, sis. Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 7, Proverbs chapter 16, verse 8. Better is little with righteousness than great revenues without right. That's right. Mon Shalom, on a question, can you explain Exodus chapter 12, verse 40 states that the Israelites lived in Egypt for 430 years to the very day. So we're not going to get from the curses. No, that's not a scripture pertaining to that, because remember, that was making reference only to the time out of Egypt. It's not making reference to this spiritual Egypt. And a lot of times, even earlier in the truth, they taught that. But as the Most High God gave them more understanding, they corrected their doctrine. So that doctrine is only for them at that time. And that goes back to Genesis. This is the book of Exodus chapter 12 and verse 40, and it reads, now the sojourning of the children of Israel who dwelt in Egypt was 430 years. And it came to pass at the end of the 430 years, even the self same day it came to pass, that all the hosts of the Lord went out from the land of Egypt. So this was a prophecy given to who? Given to our forefather Abraham. He was given this prophecy that the Most High God was going to bring multiply his seed. They was going into captivity and then be brought out of 430 years. This is the precept, Monet Sim. Let's go to the book of Genesis 15 and 13. This is the book of Genesis, chapter 15, verse 13. And he said unto Abram, know of a surety that thy seed, singular, shall be a stranger in a land that is not theirs, meaning the Israelites, because they come from what? Isaac. Out of Isaac come Jacob, and out of Jacob come the 12 tribes of Israel. 12 tribes of Israel, the Israelites. It says, and he said unto Abram, know of a surety that thy seed shall be a stranger in a land that is not theirs, talking about Egypt, and shall serve them, and they shall afflict them 400 years. This is what this prophecy is talking about. That was fulfilled in the book of Exodus chapter 12. Verse 14, and also that nation whom they shall serve will I judge, and afterward they shall come out with great substance. So no, it's not talking about us in America. That was talking about us in the time of Egypt, Monet Sim. So make sure that you put with that Exodus chapter 15, verse 13 on down. Proverbs chapter 19, verse 3. For what account? I know I'd be kind of behind, so maybe y'all kind of have to fill in, give me a little more. Oh yeah, going into King Saul. It says the foolishness of man perverted his way, and his heart fretted against the Most High. And that's literally what we have. You know, when the Most High God is giving us straight commandments, we fret against the Most High, meaning go against. Yeah, but Sister Samitra, did you understand the different definitions of heaven? Shalom, Sister Day. How you doing, sis? That's what I want you to give me some feedback on, sis. Did you understand the different definitions that the Bible gives on heaven? If not, that's where we can start, and I'll kind of give you those precepts over again. Brother Don Israel put James chapter 2, verse 19, thou believest that there is one God and doest well. The devils also believe and tremble. That's a great precept. That precept goes with the one in 2nd Ezra chapter 7. It's a great precept. That's right. Even next to like I said, Job 18 and 4, he is referred to as the king of terrors. So that goes both ways on earth and in the third heavens. The Most High God don't play. Like, no, that would mean that God's kingdom is totally out of order. So that's a great precept that you could put with that. 2nd Ezra 8 and 20. Thou that dwellest in everlastings will behold it from above, things in heaven and in the air. That's the one, 2nd Ezra chapter 8, verse 21. Whose throne is inestimable, whose glory may not be comprehended, before whom the host of angels stand with trembling. So that's the precept. I'm glad I put both of them in there. Brother Don Israel, Dexter, great precept showing, hey, I'm going to tell you, you got to fear the Most High. Think about it, man. We got angels. They're very powerful. They fear God. I mean, come on, man. So you want to put 2nd Ezra 8 and 21 precepts with James 2 and 19. Brothers and sisters, write that down. I'm going to tell you, a lot of times, brothers and sisters forget these things because you're not taking good notes. You are not taking good notes, and you're not going back over the things that are being taught. I'm going to tell y'all, I always give this testimony, brothers and sisters. Paul's writings are hard to be understood. So I had to literally go over the book of Romans chapter 7. And I know at least 10 times. At least 10 times. I'm just saying at least. It could have been way over that to make sure that I had a good understanding of what I was reading. So if brothers and sisters don't have a good understanding of what you're reading, that's what these videos are for. So you can learn at your leisure. Meaning if brothers are going too fast in real life and you can't keep up, that's why you have these things recorded. So many times when I'm watching brothers who I love to watch, IUIC, Bishop Nathaniel, Brother Yawal, Naquam, brothers from Sakari, many other brothers that I like to watch. If they saying a precept and giving me a break, I will pause the hell out of that video. Pause. I'm writing it down, reading what I wrote, going back over the scriptures, play the video. I'm talking about you can literally go word by word. What was that word again? Literally taking your time to literally get the understanding. That's what YouTube is for, so you can learn at your own pace. A lot of times, brothers and sisters trying to keep up with the pace of the video. If you're not built for that, you can't be on that same level. Go back, even like Captain Yari told sister in the chat yesterday. Sister, go back, take your time, pause, and write those things down. You can learn at your leisure. It says, come. And Asaph, Psalm 78 talks about the beauty of denoting Israel and how it was cast down during our tribulation in Egypt. It says Second Ezra. I put in Soldier Ezra's putting that precept of Second Ezra chapter 8, verse 21 in there. Psalm 78 is very, very spiritual. It's a good read. We come of the sons of God, not the sons of men. That's right, Brother Cedric. I understand, Captain. I will watch the class again. Thanks, sis. All praise, sis. We come out of the sons of God, not the sons of men. Correct. I understand what you're saying. That's right. We from the sons of God, according to what? Luke chapter 3, verse 38, Wisdom of Solomon chapter 18, verse 15, various other precepts. Shalom, Soldier Donovan. Shalom. Proverbs 10 and 27. The fear of the Lord prolongeth days, but the years of the wicked shall be shortened. Daniel 4 and 7. That the Most High God ruleth in the kingdom of men, and give it to him whom he will. Bless the Lord, ye his angels that excel in strength, that do his commandments, hearkening unto the voice of his word. Great precept, Soldier Abraham put up in the chat. It says John 8 and 6. This is an example of the Pharisees being terrified of Christ. Let's get to it. That's right. This is the book of John, chapter 18 and verse 6. As soon then as he had said unto them, I am he, they went backwards and fell to the ground. Meaning Christ has so much power. Guess what? Emanating out of him, it pushed them down to the ground, man. So this is an example of the power that the Most High God can give to Christ at any time, that he has under his authority. So yeah, that is a great example of that, sis. It says, I know one brother that said he don't watch no camps, but his camp he telling a damn lie. Yeah, we hear that a lot of times. You can tell brothers do, but the thing is, if you watch brothers' videos, you can see sometimes the things that brothers may get from brothers that they may have watched. Guess what? I have done it. Use certain talking points. That's how iron sharpening iron. Brothers be making great points. You will be a fool not to use those things. That's how we strengthen ourselves in this truth. That's why the Most High God gives us teachers. If you're not using what the teacher gave you, that makes absolutely no sense. It says Luke chapter 3, verse 38, which was the son of Enos, which was the son of Seth, which was the son of Adam, which was the son of God. Great precept. Brother Hosea, do you understand that? I want to make sure that you understand that. Because remember, the Most High God always, he has a good and he has a evil. You got it? Let's get that right quick. Let's go to the book of Sirach, chapter 39. Tell you, the book of Sirach got some great precepts in it. This is the book of Sirach, chapter 39 and verse. Is that what I want? I do, but I want another. This is the book of Sirach, chapter 39 and verse 25. For the good are good things created from the beginning, so evil things for sinners. Let me jump down. All these things are good to the godly, So to the sinners are they turned into evil. So we see that the Most High God has good things set for the good, and he has evil set for the evil people. Let me jump over the book of Sirach, chapter 33 and verse 14. This is what I want. The book of Sirach, chapter 33 and verse 14. Good is set against evil, and life against death. So is the godly against the sinner, and the sinner against the godly. So look upon all the works of the Most High, and there are two and two, one against another. So the Most High God constantly does what? Have good and evil set and opposing each other. That's why we have what? The spirit versus the flesh. You got Jacob versus Esau, good versus evil, life versus death. These things are always what? Two and two, one against another. Yeah, I was looking for that that's a rock. Good versus evil. Thanks. Proverbs chapter 27 and verse 17. Iron sharpeneth iron, so a man sharpeneth the countenance of his friend. That's right. That's why God is the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, because they obey. That's right. It says, Cap, I swear I've heard brothers mention things you said, I says about. That's right. We literally do those things. You know, that's how iron sharpeneth iron. That's right. You know, brothers will be fools not to use certain talking points and certain scriptures that brothers have brought out. I mean, that's just crazy. You know, to kind of reinforce the edification of our people. You know, that would be crazy. That's right. Romans chapter 9, verse 22. What if God, willing to show his wrath and to make his power known, endureth with much long suffering the vessels of wrath fitted to destruction? Meaning Esau was created to be destroyed. The Lord had made all things for himself, yea, even the wicked for the day of evil. Proverbs 16 and 4. Another great precept that brothers are putting in the chat, man. Just like clean and unclean beasts. That's right, First Lady. Shalom, Daoud. May I ask, what book are you reading from? I was reading from the scriptures. Daoud, he didn't put nothing up in there that was different. Sis, done Israel. Isaiah 5 and 20. Woe unto them that call evil good and good evil. That's right. So, hey, Cap, can you break down 1 Corinthians chapter 9, verse 19 on down? It's just going into Paul being crafted to get his people in with Gal, 2 Corinthians. That's right. Let's get there right quick. Let's go to the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 9, verse 19. Remember, this is Paul going to the Corinthians, which are Israelites scattered in the land of Corinth. A lot of times we have to, power of the clay, all praise. This is the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 9 and verse 19. This is going into apostles, freedom, and power, and going into a servant unto all. All who? All Israel. This is the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 9, verse 19, and it reads, For though I be free from all men, yet have I made myself servant unto all, that I might gain the more. So this is Paul, and this is what brothers' job is in this truth, sisters' job in this truth. Even though brothers may be leaders, you may be heads of congregations, but guess what? Christ gave us the better understanding by washing what? Peter's feet, showing you that Christ has the ability to be a servant. That's what being a leader is all about. You serving and helping the people, helping your nation, helping your congregation. This is an example that Paul was giving. Verse 20. This is a great precept too. This is something that brothers and sisters can put with the precept on how Christ washed Paul's feet. Verse 20, and unto the Jews I became as a Jew, that I may gain the Jews, to them that are under the law. So meaning Paul, when it talks about he became as a Jew, meaning a lot of times we meet brothers and sisters where they're at. So a lot of times, even when I'm teaching, when I ask a brother or ask a sister, you smoke, don't you? Like I asked the brother, he like, yeah. Like, brother, guess what? I used to smoke too. But now we're showing you that, guess what? You can come up out of that. If I can do it, brother, you can do it, brother. That's us becoming unto them what they are and showing that it is a better way out of those things. Because a lot of times, brothers and sisters think that it's no way out, that that's all they have to do. No, it's not all that you have to do. Paul can relate or meet people where they at, because guess what? Paul killed people. He locked people up. So this is what Paul is giving the understanding on. This is heavy. It says, as under the law, meaning Paul knew it as a man that was strict under the law, because what? Paul was going into a Pharisee, a doctor of the law. So he understood the strictness that they went by. He understood that. He understood about them being hypocrites. He understood about our people not keeping the law, statutes, and commandments, because he knew ultimately he wasn't doing it by killing his people and persecuting the church of the Most High. Verse 21, it says, to them that are without law, as without law. Like I just explained, because Paul was killing and persecuting his own people. So he understood that he was meeting people where they was at, and guess what? Giving them the better understanding that guess what? That wasn't the right way. Say, I really just needed like 19 through 23. Okay. To them that are without law, as without law, being not without law to God, but under the law to Christ. And this thing is heavy, because we know, guess what? The laws of the Most High God are strict. But through Christ came to give us what? Let's get that. Great precept that I brought out, man. Let's go to the book of, somebody find it for me, put it in the chat. But grace and truth, verse 17. This is the book of John, chapter 1 and verse 17. It says, for the law was given by Moses, but grace and truth came by Yahushua. And we needed that in this time, man. We need grace and truth. Truth making reference to the law. Yes, we keep the law, but we also have grace through Christ. Meaning when you mess up, you're not automatically put under the judgments that come from Moses. This is the understanding that Paul was giving him. Because this is basically going into the law of Moses as well. Let's go back. This is the book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 19 and verse 21. It says, to them that are without law, meaning sinners, as without law, being not without law to God, but under the law to Christ. And that's the point. The point is, Paul was giving them the understanding like, hey, we're not going to be punished under Christ without grace and mercy. Christ came to die to give us what? Grace and mercy. Meaning when you have shortcomings, you get back up. This ultimately will what? Proverbs 24 and 16. Just men fall several times, but you have to keep rising and repenting to get back in the spirit. Let's go to the book of Proverbs, chapter 24 and verse 16. And it reads, for a just man falleth 7 times and riseth up again, but the wicked shall fall into mischief. Meaning the wicked will never get back up. They'll never repent. They'll never turn back to the law, statutes, and commandments. Let's go back to the book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 9 and verse 21. It says, to them that are without law, as without law, being not without law to God, but under the law to Christ, that I might gain them that are without law. Because remember, let's go to the book of Acts, chapter 9. Paul was meeting people where they was at, man, because he understood it from both spectrums. All praise to the Most High. That's why the Most High God had Christ choose him. This is the book of Acts, chapter 8. And I'm going to start at verse 3. We're going to get straight to the point. The book of Acts, chapter 8 and verse 3. As for Saul, he made havoc of the church, entering to every house and hailing men and women, committed them to prison. Therefore, they were scattered abroad, went everywhere preaching the word. So it's literally showing you. He gave an account that he made havoc of the church, killing, locking his own people up. Remember, he had the law, but he was acting without the law. This is the same thing that First Corinthians, and this is the testimony that Paul is giving, man. That's right. Even with that First Corinthians, that's right. That's exactly right. Let's jump over Acts chapter 9, verse 1. And Saul, yet breathing out threatenings and slaughter against the disciples of the Lord, went unto the high priest. So we see that, guess what? He threatened them, he slaughtered them, he locked them up. You know, this is how Paul was talking to the people. He was giving his testimonies on how, guess what? He understood it from both spectrums. That's why he was, like we say, ultimately using guile. This is the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 9 and verse 22. And it reads, to the weak I became as weak, that I might gain the weak. I made all things to all men, that I might by all means save some. So this is I ain't gonna lie, this is heavy right here, man. This is Paul meeting our people where we was at. Meaning Paul could relate to brothers and sisters on many levels. And now we better understand why the Most High God is using us, meaning the lowest, because we can relate to our people. We understand about being poor. We understand about being from the hood. We understand about being oppressed. Now we're teaching them a better way on how to keep the commandments and how the Most High God blesses us. You want real blessings? Keep the commandments, man. You know, that thing is heavy. Let's say 1 Corinthians 3 and 1 on down. That's right. 1 Corinthians chapter 3, verse 1, laborers with God. And I, brethren, could not speak unto you as unto spiritual, but as unto carnal, even as unto babes in Christ. That's a great precept that you could put with that, because like we say, we have to give our people certain carnal accounts to let us know, because a lot of times they look at us like, y'all think y'all holier than thou. No, brother and sister, we're trying our best to become those things and get better and better each and every day. We're practicing perfection, or we're rehearsing a righteous act. Like I say, you can do it too, man. That's what the Most High God, take the lowest and then do what? Try to make them the greatest, man, so you can have more respect to those things. So though, yeah, those are a couple of precepts that you can use. Yeah, we understand it. It says, hold up, though, of Romans 4 and 15, where there is no law, there is no transgression. Yeah, that's right. We totally believe that. Can you give me an example of that, Marcel Gray? So show me in the law where it tells you don't wear your fringes, or don't keep the Sabbath day, or don't keep the Feast of Tabernacles. You know. So yeah, we understand it. Even though the spirit, that verse 22, meaning everyone not gonna make it, even though they hear the truth, he said, save some. That's right. Because he know everybody ain't gonna make it. That's making reference to what? To the 2/3. Zechariah chapter 13, verse 8. Because Paul understood the scriptures. It says Romans 11 and 13, I speak to you Gentiles, and as much as I'm apostle of the Gentiles, I magnify mine office. That's a great precept too. It says verse 14, by any means I may provoke to emulation them which are my flesh, and might save some of them. That's a great precept that you can put with that 1 Corinthians chapter 9 and verse 22. A great precept with that. Shalom, brothers Zaquan Amawan. Shalom, Kwam Yasharal. Says, you want to get on camera, bro. I'm sorry for bullying you, but not really. I was helping you build character. Yeah, we don't. Revelations 22 and 14. Brother Dexter hit it right on the head. Blessed are they that do his commandments, that they may have right to the tree of life and may enter through to the gates. Yeah, he don't want to. Did that answer all? Did you kind of want to touch on that other one too, Brother Donovan? Like you said, just that 20 through 22. In Israelite not equalities, long time, brother Shem from California. Long time, Mark. Where you been at, man? Not to be boastful or prideful, Aki, but when somebody say you think you better than me, could you use this? Use what? Kind of give me some more context on that. Oh, the righteous is more excellent than his neighbor, but the way of the wicked seduceth them. I mean, you can, but you have to give them the understanding and not uh, explain it as being humble. You know, and that's what discernment tell y'all, man. Being in this truth is really about discernment, when and when not to do something. Being having discernment and being expedient. You know, but yeah, you could, but with understanding. After a class, I exit, but I never was thrown off by the ISUPK. It said the righteous is y'all Quab Shalom. They always are usually scared to hit the link. Yeah, I mean, we'll see. Okay, I'll praise God. I'll praise God. Brother Dick said he know his highest level of education is the fifth grade, but I didn't say that. Yeah, we do, and that's what I was telling you. But remember, it's in the scripture, so it's in there for a reason. You know, brothers Aquan, Amawan, you have to use that scripture with care and with understanding, because a lot of times Christians, when they hear it, or people that don't really know the Bible, it can come off as sounding boastful. Shalom, Sister Carla Taylor, how you doing, sis? It says Abraham like that Romans chapter 3 verse 1, for instance, like what prophet is the Jew? That's right. Much every way. No. I know you weren't referring to fringes, Marcel. I was just using an example. That's all. So I wasn't referring to. I thought you heard you mentioned something regarding. Bruh, stop. Now the scriptures do tell you, "Be ye sober, brother." I mean, come on, brother. You see how I'm talking just straight up wicked, man. That's wicked. That's wicked. Now, do the scriptures tell you, "Be ye sober"? So you mean to tell me that you only think that that's spiritually sober? Remember, the scriptures are 2 and 2. Meaning it's always a carnal side to the scriptures, but it's always a deeper spiritual side to the scriptures. That's the point. So you can't use that to say that, no, bro, because we literally see laws on that. 1 Corinthians chapter 3, verse 16. That's you defiling your temple. Now you killed me, Marcel Gray. On 1 minute, you always want to stay spiritual on things that you want to stay spiritual on. And then when it comes to certain carnal things that you know carnal as hell, now you want to stay spiritual. Bro, you can't have it both ways, bro. That's crazy. It says what a yeah, don't worry about that. Mamzer is just going into a illegitimate child. People have been using the wrong definitions on that. There's no such things as mixed. You are what your father is. Now, should we mingle with the other nations? No. But if that's the case, so what? I'm the tribe of Ephraim. You the tribe of Judah. I mean, come on, bro. No, Mamzer is just going into illegitimate child. Children basically born out of fornication. So if your mom was a harlot, if your daddy was wicked, that goes up under a lot of things. If you were born out of incest, you know, that's what that Mamzer title is reserved for. Just been sick, brother, by him. Well, all praise, shoot, let us know, man, so we can always throw up prayers for you, how the Most High God heal you, man, fast, Lord's will. It says Sirach 3 and 17, my son, go on with thy business in meekness. That's right. So shalt thou be beloved of him that is approved, greater than thou art. The more humble thyself, and thou shalt find favor before the Lord. That's right. That's a great precept. Most High God is looking for humble and meek men. Yeah, for real, brothers Aquan, you ain't lying. I'm talking any type of way. Well, brother, if you feel like you can smoke marijuana, brother, go right ahead, brother. We tired of giving you the scriptures, bro. No, you ain't interrupt. That's what we all on here for. This is a Q&A. We constantly dialogue. Brothers want to come on the chat, Click the link. Sisters want to come on, ask questions. That's what this is for. We're dialoguing with one another. So no, you're all right. Yeah, that's right. You're either Israelite or Edomite. You know what I'm saying? One of the two when it comes concerning that. Could Revelations 13 verses 3 through 5 be talking about Trump? Let's see. Specifically, I don't think Most High God will let you know if he calling out certain spirits specifically. Like in the book of Isaiah, when he's talking about Cyrus, he literally gave his name. Or in the book of Daniel, showing you who was next up to rule. But in other places, I know he gave Alexander in the book of Maccabees. Not to say that he doesn't. This is the book of Revelation, chapter 13, verse. Shalom, brother Bala, shalom. Revelation chapter 13. This is going into the beast of the sea. Revelation chapter 13, verses 3, and it reads, "And I saw one of his heads as it were wounded to death, and his deadly wound was healed. And all the world wondered after the beast." Nah. I mean, I'm going to tell you, the beast is going into the Edomites, but this specifically, no, is not going into Donald Trump. This is going into the Roman Empire. When they fell in 193 AD by Septimius Severus, a Israelite. Although he was a wicked Israelite, he still was a Israelite. He took down the Roman Empire, you know. And this is just going into the history where the Most High God destroyed them during that time. We ruled for a number of years and they came back into power. It says, I'm going to start at verse 1. This is going into the Edomite nation as a whole. The book of Revelation, chapter 13 and verse 1. "And I stood upon the sand of the sea, and I saw a beast rise up out of the sea." Sea is making reference to the nations. That beasts are metaphorically talking about wicked men. Men that do what? Operate off of their instinct. That's what beasts do. They operate off of instincts. So you see in many accounts in the scriptures that the Most High God compares men to beasts. It says, "And I stood upon the sand of the sea, and I saw a beast rise up out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and upon his horns 10 crowns, and upon his head the name of blasphemy." So we know that the 7 heads represents what? The 7 major Edomite empires. So what are the ones that brothers and sisters know? Put them in the chat. You got Greece, you got Rome, you got Spain, France, Germany, Great Britain, and then you have Russia. These are the 7 major Edomite empires. Out of those 7 Edomite empires, you have the 10 horns, which goes into today the 10 common markets, or what we know as the EU, meaning the European Union. This was a union that they put together so that they could share the technology of thermonuclear weapons, so that they will make wars amongst them go away, because they understood after World War II, they knew that they could do a lot of damage to each other, and their sole purpose was to come together to rule the darker nations. This is what Revelation chapter 13 is going into. So no, it's that verses 3 through 5 is not making reference to Donald Trump. Verse 3 again. We'll start at verse 2 to give you the understanding of this. "And the bear which I saw was like unto a leopard." So you have to understand, the Most High God gives certain nations characteristics of animals going into the beast. So this beast represents Great Britain. Let's jump down. "And his feet were as the feet of a bear." Now, whose symbol is the bear? It's going into what? Russia. It says, "And his mouth as the mouth of a lion." Salakia. The lion is Great Britain. Salakia, brothers and sisters. Let me start over. What do I want? Verse 2. "And the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard." This beast is going into Greece. Salakia, brothers and sisters. Making reference to how Alexander the Greek, Alexander the Greek rode into every battle with a lion skin on the back of his horse. So this is making reference to Russia. It says a beast rose, and the beast which I saw was like a leopard, and his feet was the feet of the bear. What is the symbol of great Russia? The bear. It says in the mouth as the mouth of a lion. This beast has characteristics of what? Of a lion. What is the symbol of Great Britain? The lion. It says, and the dragon gave him his power and his seat and great authority. So this is literally showing you that the so-called white men have power because they are worshiping Satan. This is the dragon in this instance. Esau is a dragon, but guess what? Satan in this context is also going into the dragon. That's why they have all this technology. That's why they have all this power in the earth. Making reference back to the book of Genesis, chapter 4, verse 11 on down. Meaning what? Even making reference to when Satan came to Christ to tempt him, when he told him, what all this power will I give thee if thou wilt bow down and worship me. This is the same thing. Esau has all this power in the earth because the Most High God is allowing Satan to give them this power. So when we jump down and keep reading in verse 4, read verse 3, and I saw one of his heads as it were wounded to death, and his deadly wound was healed, and the world wondered after the beast. This is making reference to who? Rome. Because think about it. America takes all these characteristics from Rome and made America. Even like what we was touching on, Captain Yar is showing you in the book of First Maccabees, how they get their government, their democracy, their Senate, their Republican, their House. These things stem from Rome. The architecture of the buildings, how they set up a treasury, all these things stem from Rome. So this is what this is making reference to. This is not making reference to Donald Trump. It says, and they worship the dragon, which gave power unto the beast. And they worship the beast, saying, who is like unto the beast, who is able to make war with him. And you notice it's talking about the Caucasian race because they're the top race on the planet. They rule the planet Earth, for lack of a better words. Brother, more said, if you think that sober can mean that, I ain't gonna lie. Brother Dexter was right. You probably don't have education over the fifth grade. See, I wasn't gonna say that. I know an Israelite man who teaches the truth and married an Edomite and said the Most High God said to him he was supposed to marry her. Well, that's a damn lie, sis. You know, the Most High God didn't told him that, because it literally tells you in the book of Nehemiah, say don't make no marriages with them, and he literally said with King Solomon. Matter of fact, let's get there. Let's go to the book of First Kings, chapter 11. It literally tells you Edomites. Is that what I want? This is the book of First Kings, chapter 11 and verse 1. But King Solomon loved many strange women, together with the daughter of Pharaoh, women of the Moabites, Ammonites, Edomites, Zidonians, and Hittites, of the nations concerning which the Lord said unto the children of Israel, ye shall not go in unto them, neither shall they come in unto you, for they surely would turn away your heart after their gods. Solomon clave unto these in love. So no, sis. The book of Acts chapter 5, verse 29 on down, we are to obey God rather than men. So God ain't told him no lie like that, sis. That's plain. He just wants to smoke, and he trying to find a way to justify. That's right. Hey, find it an excuse. That's right. That's a great precept you put in there. I'll say your last name, Millie. Luke chapter 14, verse 18, one of my favorite precepts. And they withal with one consent began to make an excuse. And the first said unto him, I have brought a piece of ground, and I must needs to go see it. I pray thee, have me excused. And he thinking the Most High God going to excuse him for smoking. I'm going to tell you, man, he's going to cut your throat out, and he's going to cut your lungs out, man. And probably give you a little time to see him pump up and down it before you die. Like, he ain't going to play with you, bro, because we don't warn you too many damn times on here, bro. knowing that he is such subverted and sinned, being condemned of himself. That's right. Intoxication is not a sin. Being drunk in or out of control is the sin. Brother, you can quote the scriptures how you want to. But if you smoking weed when Christ come back, let's see how they fare well with you, brother. A man that is a heretic after the first admonition reject. That's right. How can you be? That's a great point, Og. How can you be alert or aware if your mind is influenced by drugs? That makes absolutely no sense, Og. And that's a great damn point, Amawan. Says addiction is addiction, pothead for real, same difference. I looked up Mamza with dictionary and it stated being born of a Jewish father and a heathen mother. Remember, I told you it circumference a lot. So it can go into any act of fornication, basically. So incest lies up under that. If your father laid with a harlot, that falls under that category. So it's not just one category. You of all people should know that because you always looking up any other excuse. It's mighty funny. When something is posed to him, he find all the different excuses. But when something else is posed, he only have a one-track mind for that. That's funny to me, Marcel. That is a trip. It says, boat smoke roaches are hidden from the neck. Marcel, you love drugs more than your brother. That's right. That's right. And that's the point. Like Dexter said, how did the Most High God say you should consume herbs, brother? It says, what is the ark, the mercy seat, and the tabernacle in Exodus? I've always been confused, ignorant. The ark is going into the ark of the covenant, where the Most High God kept the stone tablets of the law. The mercy seat is the seat between the two angels on the ark of the covenant. And the tabernacle is where the sanctuary where it housed the ark of the covenant. I have a book. I think Captain Yari. I have a book on that, giving you a description. I'm gonna have to start pulling that program up for y'all too. Have my wife teach me that. But that's what that's making reference to. Because I know our people are very visual people. And we need to be able to show illustrations on those things because you'll get a better understanding of it. Let me see. So yeah, that's going into the Ark of the Covenant. Yeah, the Most High God commissioned angels to be built on the Ark of the Covenant. And in between those angels was the mercy seat of the Most High, where the Levitical priest, the high priest, would commune with the Most High God that way. Let's go to, and you can read about that in the book of Exodus, chapter 31. So he put the spirit on Beliziel to be able to craft this. Let me see. The book of Exodus, chapter 31 and verse 1. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, see, I have called thee by name Bezaleel, the son of Uri, the son of of the tribe of Judah. And I have filled him with the Spirit of God in wisdom and in understanding and in knowledge and in all manner of workmanship, to devise work, to work in gold and in silver and in brass. So the Most High God put the understanding of him to be able to work metallurgy, or to be able to craft things out of precious metals. It says, and cunning in stones to set them, and carving of timber, to work in all manner of workmanship. And behold, I have given with him Abaloab, the son of Ahisamach, of the tribe of Dan, and in the hearts of all that are wise hearted have I put wisdom, that they may make all that I have commanded thee. So when you read down, you see what the Most High God commissioned them to do. What? Verse 7, the tabernacle of the congregation, and the ark of the testimony, and the mercy seat that is thereupon, and all the furniture of the tabernacle, and all the table and its furniture, and the pure candlestick with all its furniture, and the altar of incense, candlestick with all his furniture, and the altar of incense, Salakia, and the altar of burnt offering with all the furniture, and the laver at its foot. So We see where the Most High God put the spirit on this brother to be able to make all these things. So that's a good read for you, but I want you to kind of look it up like no other, so you can get a visual of what those things look like. Yeah, I'm gonna tell you, brother Abraham, Marcel Gray is he a AI, always ignorant. That's all that is. Britain, thanks. Red flags. Can I get some precepts stating the Bible is our heritage? Let's get that right quick. First of all, I know the precepts that we brought out yesterday. Let's go to the book of Sirach, chapter 17. The book of Sirach, chapter 17 and verse 7. Is that what I want? Verse 11. This is the book of Sirach, chapter 17 and verse 11. Besides this, he gave them knowledge and the law of life for an heritage. He made an everlasting covenant with them and showed them his judgments. So we see in the book of Sirach, that's going into one. Let's jump over to the book of Baruch, chapter 4, verse 1. With real quick precepts. This is the book of Baruch, chapter 4 and verse 1. This is the book of the commandments of God and the law that endureth forever. All that keep it shall come to life, but such as leave it shall die. Turn thee, O Jacob, and take hold of it. Walk in the presence of the light thereof, that thou mayest be illuminated. Jumping down, this is what I want. Please, my time. Let me look at my verse 17. Bear with me. Let's jump over to 24, 23. This is the book of Sirach. Here's another precept for you, Ak, on the book being our heritage. This is the book of Sirach, chapter 24 and verse 23, and it reads, all these things are the book of the covenant of the Most High God, even the law, which Moses commanded for an heritage unto the congregations of Jacob. So we see that the law is our heritage. What's found in our heritage, the things that we eat, the clothing that we wear, the laws that we keep, basically going into what the commonwealth of Israel. So those are two good precepts. Ox putting them in there. Thanks, brother Dexter. Like I say, Greece, Rome, Spain, France, Germany, Russia, Great Britain. It says Sirach labeled organic, natural herbs, medicine, not drugs. Europeans put that label on. Bruh, come on, bruh. He created those things as medicine. I'm going to tell you, bruh. Medicine, by the Most High God, you would only have to take one time, brother. It's not something that you have to keep doing to get high. Brother, stop. We don't went over that time and time with you. You were Gentiles, Javier Khan, all the recipients that had their medals given to Edomites in Vietnam alone. That's right. And that was just plain and simple what he asked you. How did he say they should be consumed? Daniel 2 and 42. And as the toes of the feet were part of iron and part of clay, so the kingdom shall be partly strong and partly divided. And those 10 toes is making reference to what? The 10 common markings. That's right. Another great precept that Brother Hosea put in there. Their holidays. Dragons belong in dungeons. That's what the Most High God would put in you, right? You were Gentiles. This is a good comment. These shall make war with the Lamb, and the Lamb shall overcome them, for his Lord of Lords, King of Kings. That's right. Revelation 17:14. That's right. Going into the sea. Deuteronomy 7 and 3. We all consume herbs. He don't. Israel. Rip your lungs out your behind. You ain't lying, Ox. Scriptures instruct to be more moderate with consuming anything. Brother, stop. Like we say, hey, casting pearls to the swine, man. You want to keep smoking, hey, by all means. Prove that. So what scripture? That's right. They that sanctify themselves and purify themselves in the gardens behind one tree, eating swine flesh, and the abomination and the mouse shall be consumed together. That's right. It says, does the seat goes into a throne? Basically, yes. Brother Judah King. That mercy seat, basically where the Most High God was communing or basically communicating with the high priest to give them instructions, give Moses and Aaron understanding of the law and how to incorporate it into our nation. Hit the like button. That's right. All praise, brother Yahweh. Hit the like button. Like we say, make sure we kind of send this through the algorithm. Isn't Kane Bosom cannabis? Yes. Speaking of book, did you recommend the 10 Lost Tribes of Israel book? Because I ordered the book and it was basically referring to Esau as the Lost Tribes of Israel. Chew the meat, spit the bone. Yeah. Now, certain books, you have to put that in there. You said the 10 Lost Tribes. I don't think I ever. Oh, the 10 tribes in the promised lands. Yes. So, yes, you do have that. No, you have to read certain things out of there because Esau is hell. But the Most High God put it on that Edomite spirit to tell the truth. But you also have to understand history. It says lost tribes and promised lands, not 10 tribes. That's why I was getting confused. I was like, no, not that book. Lost tribes and promised lands. So yeah, you have to be careful with that. Yeah, that's called by Ronald Saunders, Lost Tribes and Promised Lands. But it's talking about the 10 tribes. Brother, that is not the same, brother. Stop comparing oranges and apples, brother. Stop it, bro. Like I said, brothers and sisters, let them make it, brothers. If that brother want to keep smoking weed, we don't talk to this brother plenty of times on you can't smoke weed, regeneration, and you are what your father is. I'm gonna tell you, the brother not keeping the commandments, so he not gonna get it, and that's just plain. Because those are some of the easiest topics to explain. It's more deeper topics than that, brother. All right, them is the top easiest topics to explain in the scriptures, man. And if he can't see that, should we see that the Most High God got a spirit of delusion on that, brother? A lot of times people don't think that God, and he will have you believe a lie, man. Like that thing runs deep, man. Let's get there. Book of 1 Thessalonians, chapter 5. Like, he will literally have you thinking something is true and it's really a lie. Most High God do that because he know that people don't want to keep his commandments. So the Most High God gonna put his butt in a delusion state. This is the book of 1 Thessalonians chapter 2, Salakia, and verse 11. And for this cause God shall send them strong delusions, that they shall believe a lie. So we know what the brother's going through. We got there, brother, precept upon precept to give them the understanding. Brothers putting all other type of information in there. Brother don't want it, man. Don't even waste y'all time on that. That's right. We done gave him all those precepts, y'all quiet. So it don't, like I say, brothers run down the history to that brother. He don't listen to none of that stuff. That's not talking about things that are unclean, brother. Stop that, man. Because if that was the case, then we could eat pork then. Like, that's retarded. So when then brothers try to go over and beyond and try to give people to understand, and people is just wicked as hell. Shalom, brother Ezekiel, y'all. Another precept for heritage. Yeah, they ain't gonna try to put for whatever, therefore ye eat or drink or whatsoever ye do all to the glory of God. So you mean to tell me God wants you to glory in smoking weed and eating weed, Brother, shut up, brother. That's got to be the dumbest thing I've ever said, bro. People have ever said. That's just crazy. Get the context of 10. That's not talking about unlawful things that you can put in your body. That's just crazy. I'm talking about, but find it an excuse, man, according to his will. Let's jump up. This is the book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 10 and let's start at verse 23. And it reads, all things are lawful for me, but all things are not expedient. So does this mean that eating pork is lawful? Like, you have to get the understanding. That's Proverbs chapter 4, verse 7. With all thy getting, get a good understanding. A lot of times, wicked brothers just read what they want to read and what they think validates their wicked lifestyle on face value and not even try to get the understanding. It says, let's jump down. Verse 25, whatsoever is sold in the shambles, that eat, asking no question for conscience sake. So is Paul making reference to you can eat pork in the shambles? Because the shambles is going into like the meat markets. No, he's talking about things that are lawful in the law. Like, you can't use that, man. Verse 26, for the earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof. If any of them that believe be it not bid you to a feast, you be disposed to go whatsoever is set before you eat. So this means if somebody brings you to a place to eat and they got a pork ham on there, does this mean you eat that? No, this is not talking about that. This is talking about food sacrificed unto idols. Verse 28, but if any man say unto you, this is offered in sacrifice unto idols, eat not for his sake that showed it. So it's literally, Paul literally telling, don't eat food sacrificed unto idols for conscience sake, for the earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof. So this is not the Most High God telling you to eat unlawful things, brother. Like, that is just madness. All you have to do is just read up to get the context. That's crazy, man. That brother know wine is law, drinking wine is law. He understand that. He understand what we teach. Shalom, brother Jamal Driver. Shalom. Ak, how you doing, Ak? Brother, stop. Brother, we literally just gave you 1 Corinthians chapter 3, verse 16. Now, brother, I'm gonna tell you, brother, literally want to see it. Thou should not do no smoking weed up in the Bible. Brother, stop. Bro, if you got to go that route, bro, stop. And you can't get the understanding in 1 Corinthians 3 and 16, bro. I'm gonna tell you like that, brother. Keep smoking that weed, bro. Just keep on, just smoke it right on up, brother. Like I say, Bruce, don't even waste y'all time. That brother know. I didn't give that brother the time of the day, man. We done dealt with this brother from weeks on weeks at a time. Brothers done went over and beyond. Like, no. It says, question, do you think that the Bible been tampered with? People debate with me all the time, but I don't know that the Bible like that to defend it. Now, and this is the thing, brother, you got to read it to know it. Now, do scribes make some mistakes when you read in the book of First Kings? Talk about the age of may get the ages wrong or say it in a different type of way that brothers may not comprehend. You may have accounts like that in First and Second Kings and First and Second Chronicles, but does that take away from the main message of the Bible? No. So no. Do we have Easter in the Bible? You have that in the Bible, but with the understanding we know that it's talking about Passover. So you do have certain accounts like that. I know Christopher Clark saying people on TikTok saying Yahweh Shai isn't in the Old Testament. I mean, that's light work. I mean, brothers, I'm gonna tell y'all, brothers and sisters, put it in the chat. Literally state every book. Somebody give me a commandment, give me a scripture showing where Christ was in Genesis, showing where he was in Exodus, showing where he was in Numbers, showing where he was in Deuteronomy, showing where he was in Joshua, showing where he was in Isaiah, showing where he was in these books. Y'all can just put them in the chat, man. Let's go to the book of Psalms. He literally says that he comes in the volume of the book. I mean, it's crazy. I'm gonna tell you, a lot of times people tell you that I mean, they had that Christopher Clark, they put that on TikTok, but you find that when you start to question people, that a lot of those people have never even read the Bible. A lot of times they just regurgitating what people have taught them or parakeeting what they have heard from other people that didn't believe the Bible or that didn't read it either. This is the book of Psalms, chapter 40 and verse 8, and it reads, I delight to do thy will, O my God. Yea, thy laws within my heart. Start up at verse 7, Salaki. Then said I, lo, I come in the volume of the book. It is written of me. Now we see that King David is speaking, but we know that this is Christ speaking through him. Because we know that, guess what? Where was King David in the volume of the book? We know that the Bible talks about regeneration, but we don't read about an account of King David being regenerated. So we know that this is talking about Christ, man. First precept. Let's go to the book of Genesis. We always bring this out, man. This is the book of Genesis, chapter 49 and verse 8. And it reads, Judah, thou art he whom thy brethren shall praise. Thy hand shall be in the neck of thine enemies. Thy father's children shall bow down before thee. Judah is a lion's whelp from the prey, my son. Thou art gone up. He stooped down, he crouched as a lion. And as an old lion, who shall rise him up? Verse 10 is the point. The scepter shall not depart from Judah, nor a lawgiver from between his feet, until Shiloh comes. Shiloh is making reference to Christ, making reference to the peaceable one. It says, and unto him, meaning Shiloh, shall the gathering of the people be. This is one scripture. People literally want to see Jesus right there. I mean, the Bible is written in a mystery form. It's enough clues in there for you to extrapolate or from you to take from that context who it is talking about. That's pivotal why you should do what? Go precept upon precept. Verse 11 is the point. Binding his foal unto the vine and his ass's coat unto the choice vine, meaning how Christ rode in Jerusalem on the back of an ass. He washed his garments in wine and his clothes in the blood of grapes. This is making reference to how he's going to come in and stomp out and kill the Edomites, making reference to what? Isaiah 63 verses 1 on down. Easy. Let's get those precepts. Brothers and sisters, y'all put them in the chat. Let me see where y'all understanding is, man. You just line them up with the precepts. Let's show that this is talking about Christ. Let's go to the book of Matthew, chapter 21 and verse 5. This is the book of Matthew. This is where Genesis chapter 49 and verses 10 was fulfilled. Book of Matthew, chapter 21, verse 5. Tell ye the daughter of Zion, behold, thy king cometh unto thee, meek and sitting upon an ass, and a coat the foal of an ass. And the disciples went and did as Yahushua commanded them, and brought the ass and the coat, and put on them their clothes, and they set him. Who is the him? Christ. So this is literally talking about Christ in the Old Testament. Literally. I mean, you have it in so many places, man. Oh man, let's get another, man. Let's get one of the classics. Let's go to the book of Daniel. Go to the book of Daniel, chapter 4. This is the book of Daniel. Now I want Daniel chapter 3. This is the book of Daniel chapter 3 and verse 25. And he answered and said, I see 4 men loosed, walking in the midst of the fire. We know that this is going into Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. It says, I see 4 men loose, walking in the fire, in the midst of the fire, and they have no hurt. And the form of the 4th is like the Son of God. Who is this? I mean, it's making reference to Christ. So you have many, many precepts to go by on. Literally, when we read the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 10, Paul is letting us know verbatim that it was Christ that was with us in the wilderness, in the chariot, making sure we got from destination to destination. Literally. I mean, he's throughout all the scriptures they've written of him. This is the book of Exodus, chapter 23 and verse 20. Behold, I send an angel before thee to keep thee in the way. This angel is capitalized, making what is the word? I done lost my thought, boy, thinking about these people. Showing emphasis, the angel, the main angel. Angel just means messenger. Behold, I send an angel before thee to keep thee in the way and to bring thee into the place which I have prepared. Beware of him and obey his voice. Provoke him not, for he will not pardon your transgressions. Who has power to forgive sins? Christ. Showing you this is the Most High God saying he's sending his son to keep us in the way, to keep us under protection. Only if we keep the Most High God laws, statutes, and commandments. It says, for my name is in him, meaning the Most High God's reputation is in Christ. Verse 22, but if thou shalt obey his voice indeed and do all that I speak, then I will be an enemy unto thine enemies and an adversary unto thine adversaries. So since we didn't listen to the Most High God, Christ, that angel became our enemy. Simple as that. You have what? Numbers chapter 24. Just a quick run through of showing you where Christ is in the scriptures. These are just the scriptures I like. Brothers and sisters, y'all put all the scriptures up in there and make sure that Chris read those things, man. Deuteronomy chapter 18, verse 15. Deuteronomy 18 and 18. This is the book of Numbers, chapter 24, verse 17. I shall see him, but not now. I shall behold him, but not now. This is another cut to Marcel talking about regeneration. This is literally Balaam saying that he's going to see Christ when he steps back on the scene. I'm going to read it again. And this is not talking about in the spiritual sense. It says, I shall see him, but not now, meaning in the regeneration. I shall behold him, but not nigh. There shall come a star out of Jacob, and a scepter, that scepter that we read in the book of Genesis 49 and verse 10. And a scepter, meaning a king, shall rise out of Israel and shall smite the corners of Moab. So you know that this is not talking about in the spiritual sense. This is talking about in the regeneration. When the Most High God send the wicked witch Balaam's spear back on the earth, he gonna see Christ take down these nations, man. It says, shall smite the corners of Moab and shall destroy all the children of Shet. And Edom shall be a possession. Seir also shall be a possession for his enemies. And Israel shall do valiantly. So there's many precepts in the scriptures showing you in the Old Testament that Christ was there. It says, Captain B, do you mind sharing some books we can read? So can I take a screenshot, write them down? I already ordered Babylon 10 book 2. Curses of Really Lens. So yeah, you have the obviously the Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary. I have this one book, When I Was a Slave, giving real accounts of our people being in slavery. For you dumb people that say that our people didn't come over in slave ships, man. People be making me mad, man. Don't even understand history. You have this book called Black Indians, showing tribes of Judah mixing with what? Tribe of Gad. You have the Negro Question Part 2. His brother wrote many of these books. I think he got like 4 or 5. You know, you have this book called A Star in the West. Shout out to brother Hosea that bought this book for me, showing specifically how Issachar is the Mexicans. I mean, it literally said verbatim. You know, you have many other books. You have what else I have? Nature Knows No Color Line, giving the history of when we ruled in Egypt, I mean in Europe, showing all the coats of arms that our people had, these names that we had. So those are just some of the books. Ephesians, wherefore be not unwise, but understand what is the will of the Most High. So yeah, I know we're coming up on the 2 hour and 30-minute mark. Start to wind down. Is brothers really saying that Yahweh Shai, isn't it? Yes, and that's literally why they say that, brother. They literally say it because they want to see his name. But bro, that's part of the mystery of the Most High, and that's made to put people in a delusion too. So it's enough understanding in the scriptures for you to understand that that is Christ. I mean, he's in Genesis chapter 1, verse 3, that light. That's why you must go precept upon precept. You got Genesis chapter 1, verse 3. You know, Genesis chapter 49. You have many scriptures. You have him in the book of Genesis meeting Abraham. I mean, there's just tons and tons of scriptures. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie to you, brother Lamar. Your IQ say that. I told leave that brother alone, man. That brother's bugged out. It'll make you feel like you dumb, man. It is just like for even talking to him. It's just a waste of time. It says Jacob is Esau's brother, therefore he cannot be an Israelite. I did not exempt him on being born. Jacob's twin exempted him. I knew he didn't say that. Did I go too far? Oh no. Yeah, that's the point. And I'll be laughing because Marcel be cutting his own damn self up. It tells you to be filled with the spirit and be filled with the law. So if you filled with the spirit and filled with the law, you're not gonna be filled with alcohol, dummy. That's bro, that's plain. That is the point of the scripture. If you fill with those two things, then guess what? You're going to do lawful things. That's the point. Like a lot of times, brother, y'all just let him fall on his own sword. It says when Eve had the situation with the servant, was that the after the 7th day? You have to give me a little bit more. What situation with the serpent? The serpent? Yeah, it doesn't give a time, if that's what you mean. Yeah, it doesn't give a timeline. Yeah, we are comparing marijuana to pork because both of them are unclean for your body, brother. That's the point. Yeah, that's right. We ain't worried about it. Is it true mediums or medium rare is not bloody meat? I'm gonna tell you, like no other. I'm well done. I don't want to see no pink on my meat. No pink, man. No blood, no nothing. Yeah, I'm just straight well done. No medium rare, none of that. Well done. A lot of times people Esau put that narrative out. Well, it be kind of dry. That's because you like blood. No, I'm not dealing with that, man. Hell no, we shouldn't listen to Esau. Remember, two manner of people are. I ain't gonna lie, if I see even a little bit of pink, boy, I probably fall out, man. I ain't gonna even lie. Marcel, if you believe that, go ahead, brother. Don't struggle with that, man. Says Isaiah 9 and 60, but that's Berechiah. He's still into the Prince of Peace, ain't he? That's right. That's exactly right. Isaiah 9 and 6. Clear reference. Isaiah 53. Isaiah 63. You know, it's many, many precepts. Daniel, you know. That brother boy said, want that weed. That brother want the hell out of that weed. I'm gonna tell you, that brother done made that weed his God, man. That weed is an idol to that brother, man. I know what you meant, brother Bala. That's right, I gotta have mine well done. Abraham Esau is a Hebrew Edomite, and we are Hebrew Edomites. That's right, plain and simple. Best as I can. That's right. Bring it out. That's what I thought. As long as no pink, yeah, not doing it. Brother, we gave you 1 Corinthians 3 and 16. What is what is your body? So, I mean, come on, bro. Like, stop it. I thought we're not supposed to eat the fat part of the meat. That was doing the sacrificial. The fat was for the Most High. When you read in the book of Leviticus, doing the sacrifices, but we're not sacrificing. Done. Any other way to put it? What do you think? It says, what I do when I cut a big fish, man, let the pink, I refrigerate it, slice it, and cook it again. Zechariah chapter 9, verse 9, great precept. Deuteronomy chapter 18, Brother Ezekiel, y'all running down 18:15, Numbers 24, the ones that read 2 Samuel, Joshua. I mean, it's just precept upon precept. Yes, offered by the Levites, but now since we don't sacrifice, yeah. I put the one I didn't see, Genesis 49 and 10, yeah. You know, you gotta always go to that one first. It says Genesis Melchizedek, king of Salem, Shalom, Sissy Lane, Genesis 1 and 3 for real. Ye are the light of the world. A city that is set on a hill cannot be hid. Shalom, Officer King, the house of Brother Canaan. Officer Keenan. Look at all these scholars in the chat. That's right. Shout out to you, brothers. Psalms 2 and 2. The kings of the earth set themselves on a ruler, take counsel together against the Lord and against his anointed. Great precept. That's right. Who is the light? Christ. That's right. Songs of Solomon 2 and 1. Exodus chapter 20, verse 18 through 20. You know, precept upon precept showing. I'm going to tell you, Brother Christopher, you got so many precepts in here, man. Says the daughter of Zion, behold, thy king cometh. That's right. Satisfied with marrow and fat, and my mouth shall praise thee with the joy full of thy lips. That's right. Says, what's the author for a star in the west? The author of the star in the west is Elijah's would it not. I know I butchered that name, but it's Elias. If you can see that. If you can see that. It says, who is the author of nature knows no color line? Brother named J.A. Rogers, Salakia. I know we finna get ready to wind down. Let me see. It says, Battle Axe of the Most High was chatting with the brother saying that Esau was not the chosen Israelite. Well, no, Esau is an Edomite. Remember, the Most High God was creating two nations. Well, they got the same daddy. Nigga, did you understand what God said? Two nations. Meaning what? Two different races of people, two new nations of people. The brothers struggle with that thing, man. He's like, brother, two manner of people, two nations. God is literally telling you that. So now you don't understand proper English? Yes. So you have a Hebrew Israelite, like Soldier Donovan put in the chat. Then you have Esau as a Hebrew Edomite. Two nations. Two of the last nations that God created. Nations, we have to say it plain, races that God created. I'm gonna tell you, Marcel, you probably don't need to you damn sure don't need to be smoking, but you probably don't need to be drinking either, brother. It look like you a little bugged out, bro. It says on the 6th day after he had made man and woman, he saw it was very good, and he established the Sabbath on the 7th day. If he was angry at Adam, why make the Sabbath in the first place? Did he not rest? That's what I'm saying, Jabril Thompson. It doesn't say that. Remember, uh, uh, that's not, that part right there is not in chronological time, chronological order, brother Jabril. That's the point, because it doesn't give a reference in time. I know you're just reading off of that and thinking that it might be going into the Sabbath day, but it doesn't give that account, Ox. So you can't, add that to the story. Just take it as it is. That she had a discussion. It doesn't say when. You say, you had a discussion with a brother. What about drinking marijuana tea? No, I didn't drink nothing, no drugs at all. Like I say, the Most High God made these things for medicine. You're not taking it from, think about it. People not taking marijuana for medicine. They taking those things to get high. That's it. It says, like no other, that is not unlawful, should be consumed. No, if it's for medical reasons, like no other. That's the point. Okay, brother, if you believe, hey, let you be fully persuaded in your mind, brothers and sisters. Let them be fully persuaded. It says, bring up about the FBA movement and SOT spoke on it on the Sabbath class. What are your thoughts on it? I ain't got a chance to check that out. I saw it Friday, but I think I was watching the debate between Captain Tazariak and his wicked Christian man. So I didn't get to check it out. I'll check it out. Uh, that's right. Khan, and then he divided the nations. In some books, he goes into extensive detail about it. That's right. Shalom Andres Carter. All I want to say is when camps break up, they should say why. So when we decide to follow them or not. Well, like we say, sister, we don't want to get into all that because a lot of times the Most High got to reveal itself. I know, and this is something that brothers and sisters must meditate on. Brothers and sisters kind of take it hard when it's divisions and camps, but brothers and sisters must understand through the scriptures, it's going to be that way at times. You don't want to take those things personally. Now, you take it personal if it calls a brother to not be in the truth. But if you see camps split up and these camps are still in the truth, you have to take it for what it is. How I take that situation, Sister Andres, that's the Most High God making more counts, making it more for more people to guess what, get this truth. He's magnifying the truth. He's multiplying the truth to guess what, seal up the 144,000. That's how I take those things because I understand it is division and counts because of doctrine. But we shouldn't take those things personal, especially if you don't know the whole truth. And guess what? Some of those things don't be brothers and sisters' business. Remember, that's what the scriptures say. Meddle not much in other men's lives or in other men's business. So they kind of gave us enough in that situation, and I just take it at that. Nothing more, nothing less. Because I understand because we had to split from one body, because of doctrine. So I can understand 9 times out of 10, not always, but a lot of times more than most, people split because of doctrine, you know. But we have to be careful not to meddle meddle in things that have nothing to do with us. Hold on, brother. Oh, that's what I was looking for. Book of Sirach, chapter 10. Is that what I want? Book of Sirach, chapter 10 and verse No, chapter 11 and verse 10. This is the book of Sirach, chapter 11 and verse 10, and it reads, "My son, meddle not with many matters. For if thou meddle much, thou shalt not be innocent. And if thou follow after, thou shalt not obtain. Neither shalt thou escape by fleeing." So we want to make sure that we don't meddle in things that concern us not, you know. Start up at verse 9. "Strive not in a matter that concerneth thee not, nor sit and sit not in judgment with sinners." So the Most High God is very specific on those things. If those things don't concern us, like I'm pretty sure they address their congregations. So that's what they should do. Address the members of Sakari. You know, just like with the situation that comes about in battle acts, we address the immediate people in battle axes, and people that are not in the congregation, in the Dallas headquarters, we'll reach out to them and let them know, you know, but that is solely on a need to know basis if you are a part of that congregation, you know. It's the book of Proverbs, chapter 26 and 17. This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 26 and verse 17. "He that passeth by and meddled with strife belongeth not to him. He is like one that taketh a dog by the ears." So a lot of times you can get involved in things that have nothing to do with you, and you can get backlash from those things, you know. You know, you just all we can do, just, you know, pray for brothers, you know, and just pray that they keep moving on into the truth. Says, when Genesis said he created man in his image, was that speaking spiritually and not so much physically? No, there was both. Talking about spiritually and physically. We know that because in the book of Daniel, chapter 7 and verse 9, it says that the Most High God has woolly hair. Revelation chapter 4, verse 4, it says that he has brown skin. Who has woolly hair and brown skin? The Israelites. So we're made both physically and spiritually in the image of the Most High. Yeah, people just want to get high. Did you try the sauce yet, Cap? I don't got. Oh, I got a brother Uriah. He trying to get some of that sauce too. Yeah, I know, because I know it's been sitting out. Like I said, I know, taking your advice on that. Uh, but yeah, brother Uriah, brother taking a Nazarite vow, so he's trying to get some of that. I had already gave him the bottle that you had sent. So yeah, that's right. Just because they split doesn't mean it's love lost. Yeah, that's right. Capo, you know. Well, no, that's what I was saying. If it's not for medicine purposes, no, I don't agree with it at all. You taking that for solely medicine? Yes, because that's what it was used for medicine. You know, as battle axe of the Most High, Sabbath class. What you say? As battle axe of the Most High said on Sabbath class of John, joined the Baptist. Make that more clear, like no other. I'm moving around. So heard that wrong. What weed does make you feel disoriented and paranoid, scary. Yeah, you can't make them drink. Kind of water. If you imagine you have a son who's misbehaving and give him a teardrop off in the woods, I'm making a new batch. Okay, I'll send it out before the new moon's come. Yeah, we got to get you in touch with brother Uriah because he was. Yeah, he is. Like, I'm gonna. If Mary J got this. If Mary J got this brother bugged out, man. Hey, let me say, brothers and sisters, don't do drugs. You be like Marcel. You can tell that this brother got a spirit on it because that's all he want to talk about. All the scriptures in the Bible, and this brother cannot get off of smoking weed, brother. Live it up, brother. Smoke it up, brother. Sauce him, yeah. Then it says, KD, and I just got to be right. Thanks, Dexter. Love you too, sis. Praise. Hey, if you feel like that scripture is saying that, brother, all praises, man. I was referring to that quote, might be a different job, but the mention saying to the yeah, that's right. You know, you have even in the account with Christ, and the disciples wanted to, get on them because they wasn't following Christ. And Christ said, if they not against us, then they for us. And that's all that we care about. I ain't gonna lie, I just see it as the Most High God multiplying counts for more people to get the understanding of the truth. Because the days are going by quick. But with that, we give all honor and praises to the Most High. We always tell brothers and sisters to keep the law, statutes, and commandments. So we always like to read a law. Y'all already know, man. Know we're gonna shoot them shots at Marcel want to get high gray. This is the book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 3, verse 16. And it reads, know ye not that ye are the temple of God, meaning your body is the temple of God, and that the Spirit of God dwelleth in you. If any man defile the temple of God, what is your temple? Your body. How can you defile your body? By putting unclean things in it, whether it's physical or spiritual. You don't want to drink when you get drunk. You don't want to put drugs in your body. You don't want to put, guess what, unclean spirits of doctrines on your spirit. You don't want to go after another God. You don't want to worship another God. That goes both ways. If any man defile the temple of God, him shall God destroy. For the temple of God is holy. I'm going to read that again. For the temple of God is holy. Now, if it's holy, meaning separate, how are you being separate if you're putting marijuana in your body? I mean, that makes absolutely no sense, man. None whatsoever. Which temple ye are. And that's plain. 1 Corinthians chapter 6. Well, I want to get the precepts 6 and 19. What? Know ye not that your body, so it's literally letting you know, this is the precept for 1 Corinthians chapter 6, chapter 3, verse 16. It's literally showing you that your body is the temple. The body is a symbol, a representation of your body. I mean, it's just plain and simple. It says, was Christ a Nazarene? Yeah, he came from Nazareth. Yes, he was a Nazarene. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. I'm like Captain Yard, man. We might have to just start kicking that brother out the chat, man. That brother just don't get it. Like I said, boy, I ain't gonna lie. But that brother is bugged out, man. I'm like brother Ezra. They be like, damn, this brother just all this brother come is just marijuana. Like, damn, that thing, boy, that thing is your God right there, man. It's like Genesis chapter 4, verse 11 on down, man. Boy, that thing got you, man. So I mean, we see that we can't defile our temple. Yeah, that's it. Hey, y'all remember, man, we're going to Captain Yara house, man, for the cookout. I hope I didn't miss that thing, man. But giving all honor and praise to the Most High and His Son, Yahweh Shah. Make sure brothers and sisters share, like the video, help us push this truth. Like we say, donate to the fund, to this organization, so we can help push this truth. Try to come and visit a city near brothers and sisters. Remember, we got to keep God's high holy days. Make sure brothers and sisters are reaching out if you're trying to be a part of the Battle Axe congregation to celebrate God's high holy days. Remember, we got Tabernacles coming up, New Moon coming up, Day of Atonement coming up. We have some major high holy days coming up. Making sure that brothers and sisters are preparing themselves for that. Well, we go out there camping, supposed to be out there for 7 days. Some brothers and sisters can't do it but for the weekend, but we trying. So I know each year, we try to move up. We've been going out there 4 days. Maybe we get out there 5 or 6 days this year. So with that, I'll say Shalom, Kwam, Yasharala. Oh yeah, he is. I'll pray. Man, what time did it start, man? Shalom, shalom, Sister Mary. I ain't see y'all, sis. You and house of brother Daniel.